Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LBLCS, the best League of Legends action that is on tonight anywhere. Don't go looking for another thing that has any similar letters at all. You're not going to find anything, and it's not worth it. We are here tonight with an amazing financial league game, one that's going to stun you. It's going to freak you out. It's the one, the only BYU versus Feeding Frenzy. And guys, I'm joined by two people tonight. One goes by Old No Name, and the other one is Not Jerome.
That's right.
Greetings.
Guys, welcome. I actually have a really important fact that I have to share with everybody that's listening tonight. This is factual. This is evidence backed up. It is scientifically proven. It is by Business Insider on the internet. You can find it yourself. The school, the number one school which has both the hottest and the smartest people is BYU. Did you know that?
Wow.
So this is a hunky, big-brained team, and they're here to fight.
Utah's finest.
Utah's finest are sitting in the lobby on the blue side.
But why are they why are they Esports Team B? Like, why is it BU?
So this is their B team. So this is like their secondary team, like their second
so
string.
They're not
So
the hottest and the hunkiest.
well, they're right. They're I guess well, they might be the hunkiest. They might be the hunkiest. We don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess they're right underneath there.
Yeah.
I would still say they're big brain, though. I mean, if they're even in that school, you got to be both hot and smart. Two prerequisites.
Yeah.
You have to send in a headshot to apply.
So
That's not true, but that'd be amazing.
It's actually Brigham Young.
Yeah, it's Brigham Young.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Very cool.
That is super cool, yeah. Provo, Utah.
Yeah, I'm very excited to cast their game tonight. We are actually in lobby right now. We're going to get a pro draft link pretty soon. I don't know anything about either of these two teams. I mean, we know something about the intelligence and physical attractiveness of one side, but not the other. So
yeah, I have absolutely no clue what like the basis of either of these teams are. So it's gonna be really funny to watch.
Well, I'll say one thing.
Develop.
One guy's got a name Gangplank, which is leading me to believe he likes players with guns. He's lined up in the ADC spot right now, though, so I'm not sure.
I don't think he's playing Gangplank, but I've been proven wrong before.
Yeah, I mean he could be. It'd be pretty strange, but I'm very excited to see what he does whip out. Because it's going to confuse everybody if the other team picks Gangplank, and then we're talking about Gangplank and Gangplank fighting each other. It's going to get
It will be sad if Wildcard does not pull out a Wildcard pick.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not playing TF, what is he doing, you know?
Yeah.
An invite
TF or just something crazy.
Fair.
Yeah, you always got to be unexpected.
All right, got to get the spectator link. Let's get rocking and rolling here, guys. If you are new to the LBLCS, you guys can drop on down below and click our Discord. Just get right in our Discord. Get right in our face. Join our league. Yell at us. Be friendly. Be mean and friendly simultaneously. Yeah, you could be mean, I guess. I don't think it would go great for you, but you could be if you really needed to be for whatever reason, to whatever cathartic reason you have. I guess you could be.
I think there like an underrated aspect of joining the LBLCS is that this is going to make you a much better player. You're going to leave the LBLCS season with like a greater understanding of the game. For instance, last year I played on a team with Buggle, and the moment the season ended and I didn't have to play with him anymore, I immediately climbed 3 ranks and hit my peak rank ever. Which
he got a lot smarter. Once
so,
I was not in his call anymore, I mean, he was...
It was sort of like weight training in the pool, where like you're swimming with all the weights on, and then once they're released,
God.
you're so much faster. You feel like you're free, you're floating.
You know, Mighty has tried many times to roast me on cast, but never has he succeeded this well. You have outdone him in one simple remark. God damn it!
It's not that hard to outdo Mighty.
There it is.
And now he's been roasted. So
yeah, we are waiting for these guys to start this up. They are waiting for 2 more people, it looks like, or maybe just 1 more. We need to get Not Jerome in the game, though.
Please, I'm begging you.
there's some pretty good names in this lobby. Now, Popa did ask in the chat, what about feeding frenzy? Are they hunks? Honestly, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
They might be hunks. They could be pretty hunky. All we know about them is that their name is Feeding Frenzy, and that their logo is Ziggs.
Yeah, it's like
I kind of
they're
figured
not
their
hunks.
logo would be Fizz because he has both the feeding and the frenzy. And he's got like the whole like fish theme feeding frenzy thing going on. He
They
does literal
picked.
feeding.
Okay, I want to point out. You guys have maybe I haven't seen it yet, but they picked Ziggs for their logo.
Yeah, no, yeah, I just said that. it's a picture of Ziggs.
But it's not a.
I was thought it was gonna be like Fizz or something.
I'm so confused by that. I love it. It's just yeah.
No, it's a fantastic logo.
Natrum, are you reading the chat I'm having with the captain of BYU right now? Because you should, because it contains your name and is about you.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So you can pop out and then pop back in once we're popping.
Yeah, I'll just leave. Thanks, Buckle.
Yep.
I'll
Get the
just
hell out of here.
going home.
You know what I'm actually really excited about? I cannot wait for the LCS to raid this channel. Because they're obviously,
Oh yeah.
once they finish up whatever weird, they're not even doing their real games yet. They're milking it a little bit, in my opinion.
They're doing. It's just filler content.
Yeah.
It's filler arc.
Yeah.
If they really needed filler arc, they could have just had Mighty do something for
Yeah,
hours.
I think they're smarter than that though.
Okay.
If you prefer your steak over your sizzle, then the LBLCS is where you want to be.
Yeah.
You're not getting flashy gimmicks and all this nonsense. I mean, like, let's cut the crap and let's go to the LBLCS.
Yeah, let's get high quality content. You know what actually has been pretty gnarly is that we've streamed every single night this week. And honestly, the last 3 nights have been insane. Like, the games have been so close. Or have been, like, a big hyped up match. Like, last night we had the base race to try to win from a team that was down. The night before we had 2, 45-plus minute games that were down to the wire. I'm actually super pumped about this season.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Last night was just like, I know it's my team, but even if it wasn't my team, it just would have been the sexiest pick fake out of all time, where they picked we picked Aatrox, and then we just had the other team assume it was going top lane,
And flexed it in
and
the
it
mid.
went mid into the Kassadin instead,
Awesome.
and it utterly decimated their understanding of what our comp was going to be. It was amazing. It was one of
no
my
name.
favorite LVL episodes ever.
Speaking of the sexiest and the smartest, BYU has the opportunity to stun us, both with their beauty and their brains tonight. I'm very excited for it. I want you to guess what kind of strategy they're going to run before they even begin draft, but without even looking at them. I want you to look at their ranks and where they're positioned and tell me how you think they're going to try to play.
Wow. Okay. Do we know that these are their final positions?
Not a fucking chance in hell. No, I'm just going to assume.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing that. I mean, if I were to guess off of solely rank and say that they were going to play just off of their based off of most ranked, or the highest rank to lowest rank for priority of how important their play is, I would say that they're gonna play through mid in wildcard with a big carry champion, and then they would have Captain Tian Kuum. I don't know what the.
John Kuhn.
Okay, can we talk about that name? What's the pronunciation?
Just
we need
call
to
it-
decide on a wrong pronunciation.
Yo, it's
for
Captain
that
T,
name.
baby.
Okay, you're right. It's Captain T. So then they would have Captain T on some sort of heavy engage character and have him calling the shots, so that he could make the plays happen.
Yeah, I see
If it was
high
just
rank
based on rank.
support. I see high rank support, high rank
That's
mid.
what they're gonna do.
But I want to say, do you think any of these are throwing you off because they're TFT rankings?
Ooh, that would be funny, and it's very likely.
It's gonna quickly
but
jump
yeah,
over
I
and
know-
show people what we're looking at.
I would say that ranks aside, I would be surprised to see them doing something outside of the usual scaling ADC, scaling carries, bruiser tank top, like engage jungle, engage support, just like protect style comp. Like that's been really common in the LCS through all this stuff. It's gotten better in League of Legends recently, and the Brigham Young Esports, they're probably looking to play as a team. Those are my guesses.
FNC FSG is saying, I'm on mobile. Don't tell the stream. You posted that live on stream. Can't help you much more than that. Chris Gibbs had enough of this lobby. He's out. We're just waiting for a player to get back. They're on their way home right now. So we're going to talk about... You guys didn't interrupt. I was hoping you guys would interrupt me because you tell me what we'd be talking about next.
No, all the pressure's on you.
Okay, we're going to talk about how the season is going already. I'll pull it on up. How's that? Huh?
Yeah. What are you pulling up?
I don't know. I think I'm going to pull up economy. I think the most games have been played in economy standings.
Okay. No, that's fair. I know this is the first game in Group D for Financial.
Yeah.
Unless that game was played in like the 5 hours since I found that out.
So we have basically in each league, there's 8 games played every week, with the exception of executive. So 6 games have been played in economy so far. They are actually somewhat surprising in terms of what I was thinking would happen with results. There's a couple kind of like straight shooters. Serenity Esports. I'm going to pull that up in 1 second for you guys so you can see it. But I think this works. This better work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's all I can do. Final Brain Cell, who I don't know too much about, but I do know that they are returning members. They've got we have 4 members for Feeding Frenzy in now. Yes, 4 out of 5. They've got the win. Serenity Esports, who's always a mega power house in the Economy League, has got 2 points. And 20 Vikings and C&D are in the same group, which I'm actually super excited about. I think C&D are people that you should really keep your eye on for the Economy League. C&D went to the finals with Sensei Randall's Intermediate Kickin' Squids, which was an off-brand of Sensei Randall's Karate Squadron.
And are now just the Kickin' Squids.
Yes. And
if this is not complicated enough, I can make it more complicated.
But C&D was 3rd out of 5 in their group from last season and made it all the way to the finals, and they got better and better and better and better throughout the playoffs. And so I want to see them continue that, trying to continue to improve. Meowington Inc. Winning their first game against Kesha Wave, who's brand new to the league. Silver Drillers doing what Silver Drillers do best, and they tied their series. If you've ever watched the LBLCS in another season and watched the Silver Drillers, and the Silver Drillers won Game 1, you should put all of your schmeckles on the other team in Game 2, and vice versa. If Silver Drillers lose Game 1, bet all of your schmeckles on them Game 2. They are the tie fanatics. They always tie. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but Saint Roselle, he does it.
What was the season in League where, like, across the first 5 weeks, the League had, like, an 80% tie record or something? Do you remember this?
That was season 5.
Okay, yeah. That was so funny. It was so wild.
Was that Com D2 in season 5?
I think it might have been.
Yeah. Angela says, we kicked that nerd, so you can invite your guy back. I'm going to invite you back. I'm going to invite our nerd.
Wow. Glad to know I'm everybody's 14th choice for this game. That feels real good.
Out of 10.
Well, 15th, I guess, because that guy was here. I think that guy had to go, really.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. God.
We'll jump on down. We've got Brick Soccer Team and Sensei Randall's crushing Group C in commercial. We've got some unplayed games commercial as well. Apes Together Strong are the best suited
That's
there.
That's a good name.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty great look here. Yeah, this is going to be the first game of Group D, huh? I think the other game is happening very soon as well. I think Saturday or Sunday it is. All right, let's jump on back to this game, though. Meowington actually has two teams for any Meowington fans out there lurking in the shadows. Meowington has both their gold and their plat team, so they're in double leagues this season.
Nice. So are we still waiting for one more player?
Yeah, they're apparently they're home. They're just coming in.
Okay, nice.
So
Yep.
you mentioned the intermediate karate squadron earlier.
Yeah.
If I remember, there was a division of that, the Cyan helicopters, and I was just wondering what
Yeah.
happened to them. I remember hearing a lot of buzz about them last season, and I haven't really seen anything this season.
The
So I was
Cyan, there's a word in the air about them. What happened was, well, let's just be honest. Me and you were on the team, and we had to forfeit 6 games that season because we couldn't play together. It's pretty unreal.
Yeah, so if anybody needs an AT carry, you have my number. I am available. I've got a frag movie. I'll edit it up if you want to watch it. Yeah. Just,
That's it. That's all you got. All right, we've got all 5 in here now for both teams. They are repositioning currently to get in the correct order. I don't know if they know the garbage admin copy pasta. These are 2 brand new teams, all no name. I don't know if they know.
Hold on. Do you guys know about the garbage admin copy pasta? It just occurred to me. Oh my god. Oh
You should
my
just
god.
post it for them in the middle of
Yeah,
their draft.
I'll find it. Where is it? Just in copy pastas, or is it?
Yeah, you
I
just
feel
type
like
it.
there's
You
a
could
lot
just
of
type in
other
garbage
copy
admin, I
pastas.
think, in our Discord, and you'd find it.
Yeah, that's true. It'll come up. Yeah, there it is. It came up on New Year's Eve. That's the last time it came up.
Fair.
Oh, I have to get the other half because it didn't fit all of it.
Yep, we are all set. We are all set on the stream side for them to start. Okay. Finally, we get to dive in with the hottest hunks around, with the biggest brains around. Brigham Young University B team. Any Brigham Young fans out there?
You know, gotta be honest. Even upon finding out that their abbreviation is Brigham Young, I know nothing about Brigham Young.
Wow.
So I'm gonna
No
go look
respect.
up some stuff about Brigham Young.
Well, I actually
and
did, and
have
that's
them,
the Latter-day Saints, right?
yeah, I'm gonna look at better things though. So
yeah. You're not gonna find anything better than what I found. I found that they're number 1 and hottest and smartest. I think that's like they're nationally ranked the hottest people and the smartest people in what I would assume is the world because Business Insider did it.
okay, so I do like that if I just look up Brigham Young University and the BYU website comes up, the first thing it gives me in the description of the website is quinoa is often called the miracle grain. Not only is it tiny, molecular seed rich in protein, dietary fiber, and vitamin B vitamins.
I actually had quinoa tonight.
Funny.
I had quinoa tonight.
There you go, dude.
Do you think that they're checking me out? We do have some bans coming out. Okay, so that didn't get banned. I'm assuming that that's Wukong, because Wukong is coded differently, so it doesn't always pop up. But we've got Kaisa, we've got Zillion Band, Camille, Caitlyn, and Corky. Jinx is actually first pick. We actually were not expecting an ADC first pick, I don't think, from the side of BYU, and it seems that they're already locked it in.
I am kind of surprised to see a Jinx, because once you lock that as your big carry, it is very good right now. Lethal tempo with it is silly. But it's a pick where, like, in and of itself, it's a win condition, and so the other team can just immediately start picking around it.
Sure.
So it kind of, like, scares me as a first pick. But it is very strong.
It doesn't have the strongest early game pressure, though, right? So you can definitely try to take, like, an early pressure jungler. and try to set them behind to start the game out. And tempo is really important, especially in any league at all in the LBLCS. Actually, in any league at all, tempo is really, really important. Being able to control the game and dictate it at its own pace is massive.
Yeah.
Poppy
I
is
like the Zyra response. Just very strong, synergistic bot lane. And yeah, BYU Esports is just like, we're gonna pick tanks, bro. We're gonna pick a bunch of things that stand in front of the Jinx.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to play Rakan. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We wanted
exactly.
to. We really wanted to let you, but we decided at the end of the day.
I do love the Poppy pick response. Because it is just like, what is Rakan gonna do?
Yeah,
Poppy
like-
can hit a single button and half of his abilities are gone.
Yeah,
That
Shen
is
will also keep her.
transparent. Like,
Yeah. Be so safe. Mundo gonna be picked up here. I actually think I would have liked to see somebody that I guess Mundo actually is a pretty good solid pick. You have a little bit of a flex with it, and it's solid into both of those people. I mean, obviously it could be Poppy support, it could be Shen support. I'm assuming it's Poppy support. I'm assuming that was picked with intention to counter Rakan. It could also be jungle.
I was figuring it was Poppy jungle, Shen top, just because Poppy's strong there. But I mean, I'm also a fan of Shen jungle.
I think that would be
nerfed,
if their top
really
laner
hard
doesn't
recently,
play aggressive picks. I think it would be nerve-wracking to me if it was a support jungle pick here. They need
the
more
Mundo
damage
pick
in the
is-
they need more damage in their comp here. So I hope that they have.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think the Mundo pick is like an explicit
Poppy support,
response
you
to
could-
the Shen top, because they want to have the Mundo into the Shen to just kind of bully him, and also become a monster late game. Mundo's such a weird champion since his rework. I don't get like he's got so much health and like so much stats, and then like you just can't do anything because you have no ways on top of people. He feels really wonky. Even I played him a lot, and I still don't quite get it.
Got LeBlanc ban, Yone ban, Vex, and Zera. So definitely picking out the mid laners here. Clearly, no mid laners have been picked. Other things can be flexed around, right? So you double ban a top, and that Mundo ends up being top, okay, or double ban a jungle ends up being jungle. Same thing on the other side. You have a lot of flexes, so they did a good job picking out what they know they didn't have. No mid laners were picked up. Both teams are going to ban out 2 mid laners each. Fiddlesticks and Victor are going to be the next 2 picks. Fiddlestick's going to be the jungler for the side of Feeding Frenzy, and Victor looks like it's the mid laner for BYU.
Yes, we did see a Victor top yesterday, but
with Poppy and Shen. Oh wait.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
That was an intentional Kiana pick.
Poppy support.
So it's well, hold on. Let's think
Kiana...
about this. It's Victor top, Kiana mid, or Kiana jungle, Victor mid.
This could be so many
Shen
things.
top.
This could be so many things.
Yes.
There's many combinations of what is happening right here.
I would like
Do
to
we
put a
know
prediction.
what?
Shen top, Kiana jungle, Victor mid, Poppy support. Final answer.
So BYU had the chance to stun us with their hunkiness and their intelligence, and they're stunning me with their intelligence right now because they've tricked me, and I'm normally pretty on top of tricks. Not right now.
Way to toot your own horn there, Bug. All that.
Sorry, yeah.
I gotta say, I really
As a genius.
I think it's okay. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out in a second, but I think it has to be Shen top, Poppy support, and then Victor mid. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be. This is in my mind. This is the best lineup for what they have because Kiana has really, really strong ganking ability, and if you have Shen up in the top lane and you have Poppy down in the support, you have really solid setup for that. And then Victor being the mid lane. Victor is such a strong pick right now in general. I really like that. I did like the Zed being picked up as well because Zed has blinks. He doesn't have dashes the way Rakan has dashes, so he can actually counter that Poppy W a little bit and get into that back line, try to eliminate Jinx or take out any big target threats like Victor could end up being. But I really like, yeah, we're going to see the Shen locked in top. Okay, I think that it's Shen, Kiana, Victor, Jinx, Poppy.
See,
I agree. I think the Poppy support scares me a little though, just because the W like counter engage from Rakan is on a much longer cooldown than Rakan's actual engage.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to disagree with you, Buggle, but I'm actually a little bit worried about the Zed just because I feel like there's so many peel options on the side of BYU. Like, as long as Jinx isn't completely alone, everyone else is going to be able to peel Zed off her. And even if she is alone, you've got to stand united from across the map. So I'm a little bit worried about the Zed, seeing if it's going to be able to actually get much done. But I hope I'm proven wrong.
I think why I like it is because they realized, okay, we can't really play a better front to back than what they picked because they kind of countered us a little bit in our ability to do that. So what they're going to rely on is Fiddlestick's Fear Ultimate to break them open a little bit, and then from there have Zed be able to get deeper in and cause that mayhem, that chaos, and then hopefully they can try to do the damage you need to do. They also probably in this instance it's Zed is a follow up, and he's only going for squishies. Zed is not going to be the one that kills Shen or Poppy late game, but he is the one that can instant hit these carries, and that's what's important.
Yeah, I think the thing the redeeming factor about the Zed is that his big job here can just be to cause chaos. If he like goes in on the Jinx, everyone on the team suddenly turns towards the Zed, and now you have Rakanar and Fiddlesticks are to watch out for, and Zed can just like take that ult back instantly. You can get them all clumped up. Like he can do any sort of like thing he wants to mess with their head, and like pull their lines apart in the middle of a fight that lets Feeding Frenzy's engage tools be more effective into BYU's team.
It's a fickle
Buggle's
thing, though.
It's tough.
It's a fickle thing, though, because he missteps. Let's say he doesn't change positioning as fast as he needs to. He will get killed almost instantly as well. So if they're on top of their stuff and they are organized, but we're looking at this, what is ProComp saying? It's saying exactly what we're talking about. BYU has picked a protect comp. The Poppy and the Shen are going to keep their carry so safe. Kiana is going to be really their solid form of engage, because I think what's going to end up happening is Shen is mostly going to be in the side lane dealing with the split push.
Yeah, I feel the Kiana is the weak part of BYU's draft for me. But I am just generally not a fan of Kiana because the champion baffles me. But in general it's like it's got a very weird like spikes in the jungle that make it like kind of a tough pick when you're going for consistency with these kinds of carries. But the ult is just crazy powerful.
Side click, thank you so much for the follow, my dude. All right, not Jerome, I want to get your take on this. Which team do you think has the upper edge? And oh, no name, can you start a Schmeckle betting here?
I can.
I gotta go with my friends in Provo. I think it's got to be BYU.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got the upper hand in this draft. I think that the response to the Zyra Khan was so smart. It was so immediate, and it wasn't anything fancy, right? I mean, they have a lot of dashes with Rakan. We picked Poppy. They need to kill our Jinx to win. We pick a Shen. I think they just basically outclassed the draft. And I mean, obviously, execution is the more important part, but I do like their draft better. I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm also pretty excited to see what happens. I'm looking at the skirmishing that ProComps is talking to us about. And guys, if you want to check out ProComps, there's a link down in our bio. It's a hyperlink. You can just click on that. There's also an LBLCS 25 code. Gives you 25% off if you want to do anything with it. Cool if you don't. Cool if you do. If you want to check it out, I think it's really helpful for Clash and other stuff like that. And Clash is coming up. I like the way it breaks this down, though. I think Victor is a good match and is a good pick into Zed. Try to take advantage when there is no gank threat. I actually think that when it's talking about Kiana and Fiddlesticks being balanced picks, I think they're very different in the way they want to play early game, though. They might be balanced picks in terms of how they can affect team fights, but I think Kiana is going to have a lot more priority early on to blow up these squishier champions. If they can get in and they can Kiana Zed onto Victor, you can blow that up pretty quickly, or at least try to burn a flash, give Zed a lot of prio. I think it's a little scarier early. What do you guys think?
For which side?
I think Kiana's a scarier jungler early than Fiddlesticks.
Oh yeah. Being Kiana early is terrifying. If you get like thrown off your clear, it feels awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the matchup well at all. Kiana jungle into Fiddle isn't something I see a lot. I have to imagine Kiana would. I mean, it all depends, right? Because Fiddle's got the healing of it all. It's so hard. I mean, I can't like. How many times have you thought you had a Fiddlesticks dead to right and he heals back up and you're like, well, damn, ouch. So I think both sides will want to avoid running into each other in the jungle early because it is so hard to tell with an assassin versus sort of a sustainy type of scarecrow. But I mean that's not a bad right. It doesn't mean you're necessarily playing scared. It means you just want to put your attention elsewhere. Maybe they'll start on opposite sides of the map and just give each other a little bit.
I will tell you, I do think that this game is going to be won and lost, just like all games in comms. What can you do to figure out the answer? Like, you have drafted. There's no going back. There's no changing those champions right now. You have to figure out with what you have right now, what are the best ways to win this game. And I think for the side that has, I personally think Feeding Frenzy has the weaker scaling side. And I think they need to focus those neutral objectives pretty hard while they still have the similar power levels.
I didn't notice this initially, but they've gone with an Exhaust Ignite bot lane on the side of BYU, so no heal on the team at all. And that's a little bit strange to me, because I feel like I don't usually think of Jinx Poppy as a lane that would want to really be mixing it up super early.
So I think giving the exhaust
kill early and
yeah, giving the exhaust to Jinx is really important because you've got the Zed threat that can get onto her, and that's going to probably be the most useful if they're not comfortable using Cleanse. And Poppy still wants to have the kill potential. Poppy did take Aftershock, but Poppy does a lot of damage early on. Once they get level 2, 3, they can really do a lot of burst damage. And if Jinx can trap whoever, they stun him against the wall, Jinx traps, they should be able to blow him up, especially with Ignite. Looks like there's going to be a slightly late invade for some vision here.
10 gold advantage for BYU.
Both junglers are starting topside, though. Like, no leash topside. It's very interesting. There might be a very big skirmish for bot scuttle, at, like, whenever that happens.
That would be a lot of fun. I think it's just a quirk of the sides, right? I mean, Fiddle obviously wants the AoE, Kiana more the single target. But yeah, leashless for both.
Alright, yeah, so, we're just kind of seeing pretty standard starts. I don't know how Mundo got so chunked out, in the top lane at level 1, but, that's pretty good for, the Shen's start, giving him pressure in the lane.
A little bit of race for level 2 down here in the bot lane. We could see them try to make plays. Rakan, Xayah is super strong lane, and they do have level 2 first. And they're trying to just zone off right now.
Oh!
You must be ahead because
Oh.
I didn't see what you were going for yet. I'm at 232.
Yeah.
There's the engage right
yeah.
there. A little bit of a return. They're going to push almost into tower range. This is just a tiny little skirmish. It's almost like a top fight. They're just testing the waters.
All right, I'm about 10 seconds ahead of you.
Great.
Yeah, me too.
I'm at 250 now.
Yeah, 3.
I'll tell you when I'm at 3 if you want to pause.
Okay.
259, 3. Kiana making their way down to the bot side here. Fiddle also is kind of in the area. Kiana is level 3, only has the blue buff. Looks like they really want to find a way in. I think that if any spells are used from these guys, they will just immediately engage. Gangplank actually going a little aggressive early kind of gives them bad signs here.
That's so confusing.
Yeah, you should be able to send something's up when the Jinx just starts running in.
Yeah, and here comes the... Oh, this is going to be big. Can they find anybody right now, though? Not going to land.
Oh,
nice snag right there by Def. He's going to actually knock them up into the air as well. Top lane, there's another skirmish going on. Nothing, though. It's just...
Yeah.
They're just being safe. They're just saying, okay, can we find it? It's not there. There's a chance this will backfire. No, pull back. Get out.
But we can
Yeah, all of the skirmishes around the map are just going normally. trade happening top
Andaloth
here.
actually getting really chunked out. Nice use of his W, but Billabang might just bang Andaloth. Nice little trade right there.
Oh, that's a lot of minions. We can see though.
Yeah, that was a wild back and forth. Shen exclusively using his champion empowered Q as his only damage source there, and still doing like a solid 2/3 of Mundo's health post nerf.
With the time he spent bot, Alphabet Cat, you know, is actually quite behind the Fiddlesticks. He hasn't been able to recall yet. Meanwhile, Fiddle did oh!
Yeah, that's a really good flash for first blood.
Get out of the minions!
Oh my god!
The Predator boots!
Yeah, that's going to be enough.
Yeah.
Called down, yeah. So he was able to do a full clear of his entire jungle, plus get the bot crab, recall, pick up those boots, which we see is so important with Predator, and then is able to run top and collect the kill. So nicely done by Fiddlesticks, and he's already rolling.
Yeah, that CS lead is going to grow for Shen up in the top lane, which is my concern right now for these guys, because that is a gap that is going to continue. That kill gold was put on a Fiddlesticks. That's great. Their jungler is going to be further and further and further ahead. Hopefully he can continue to snowball the game and affect other lanes. But this Shen is going to be huge, and when he shows up with his ultimate, when he stands united, it's going to be a lot of return damage that he can dish back out.
Fiddlesticks is
Yeah, he's got the completed Bomby Cinder, and Mundo's just sitting on the 2 health crystals. So their trades are going to be very disparate.
Yeah, and he's already level 6 up there in the top lane. Talking about mid lane, there's not too much of a difference in mid lane. It's probably the most even lane that is happening. Bot's pretty even too, but I actually think that this is going to be favored for the side of Feeding Frenzy, even though they're down a little bit in CS. They just have safer vision. They have Prio in the lane, and Fiddlesticks is on their side of the map right now. Yeah,
I will say with the new teleport changes, a level 6 Shen is now significantly more scary since he's like the only one who can show up to fight spot lane effectively.
Alright, level 6 on Fiddle, he's 2 levels up on Kiana, which means he can take this, especially with the bot prio. He can probably go for this dragon right away, but instead he's going to go bot, maybe look for this ultimate. Gonna be waiting here a while.
Yeah, this is the call before the storm. We see the 3v3 bot lane. We know the pro comp's prediction, but we just have to wait for it to break out.
Come back, Kiana, no!
Yeah, they don't know.
She wants her Krugs, dude. As a jungler, I feel it.
Yeah,
it happens every time. You sit there for like 20 seconds, and you're like, dude, I could have done 5 camps by now.
I could have done Krugs 11 times.
Nothing though.
God,
Again,
there's so much tension and there's no release.
Just the way we like it here at the LBLCS. A lot of tension, no release. You got to pay extra for that, and we don't have the money.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like you're ahead of me again. How do you do this?
No, that was just your remark, Buckle.
Oh, you're just reacting to me.
Stream.
This is a family stream.
The LBLCS used to mean something.
I'm sorry that I've taken that away in one comment. Andaloth, captain of his team.
So wrong.
Still able to trade so effectively. Way up in gold if we take a look at it right now. 700 about. He's up. He's got 300 more in his pocket as well. There's a lot of people sitting on gold right now, and I actually expect them to go back soon and start making plays around it. Really good from Fiddle to take the dragon right there. Kiana on the other side of the map maybe makes a play top, maybe goes for Herald.
Yeah, I think I mean I feel like making a play top lane is gonna be hard for Shen and Kiana because Mundo's just shifted into full weak side mentality, and he's just like queuing minions every like 4 seconds from however far back. Because he's a good champion for doing that, and it takes a lot of pressure off the rest of his team having to come help him. So it's gonna be like awkward to find a play because you're gonna have to layer the Shen E and the Kiana route at the same time if you even want to CC him.
I actually really like this super methodical, measured approach that both of these teams are taking. They're brand new to this league, both of these teams. They're brand new to the entire idea of the LBLCS, and they're coming into this game and they have ideas. I think BYU's idea with their team comp is more transparent. Like, we can see it a lot easier. Or maybe just easier to execute in our minds. But they both have ideas. They both drafted the way they want to in this game 1. And now they're just trying not to throw that away. They want to start grouping, and here comes that ultimate up in the top lane. That is Fiddlesticks going in, and they're trying to burn through this Shen. Are they going to be able to do it? They are going to take them down, and that's another kill going over to Fiddlesticks. Alphabet Cat now in a big trouble. The Flash Ignite is so much damage, but Kiana, are you going to get out?
Does she live?
Oh
my god. The potion and the triumph is just enough health. If Zed dropped the ignite and just left, he lives. She dies, and I think he lives. Unless I was incorrect about his shadow placement.
Hero play from Poppy there, though, to get that stun off, to be that aware, and to make that play. Such good aggression from Zed, though. That kind of play that he just made, they need to. He can't lose that. Just because it didn't work that time, he can't lose that aggression. Because he needs to find those ways in. He needs to continue to try to find ways in, and needs to know, okay, Poppy's pretty on top of this. I want to make sure I have good spacing from her when I'm making these plays. Captain T and come, I guess. Captain T, baby.
Yeah, I don't know what the name's going for.
But it's getting it.
That's the only guess of what it's.
Let me just tell you, Captain T and come, he's the release that we were missing earlier, because that was a good play.
Again.
Again.
Where did we stray so far?
Okay. So.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go right ahead.
I was just gonna say, Buckle, you were talking about a very measured approach to your first, the first games in the LBLCS, 2 brand new teams. I was thinking about my first game in the LBLCS when we went for an invade and 4 of us died. We got 0 kills, and I was immediately like, well, so this is the LBLCS.
They just haven't experienced. They haven't experienced another team that's been here a while, because everybody likes to go ape shit every once in a while. But right now they're staying pretty calm. The gold is pretty much dead even. I will say the stats favor this side of Feeding Frenzy a little more right now, because they have that one Drake, and because their big AoE damage dealer actually is the one that has the most gold.
Huh. Someone put in the chat that according to the Book of Mormon, Tien Kum was a Nephite military leader.
Bingo.
Makes sense for BYU.
This guy's a genius. Yeah, it does make sense for BYU.
It's true. It is a letter off from our Tien Kum.
Billabang actually healing up a lot with this ultimate, and Andalov could be in some trouble right now. He is trying to back up. He is still trading pretty effectively. A flash away. He's going to be followed by Mundo, and he's going to be able to pick up that kill up in the top lane. He's going to go 1-1 and 2. Bot lane looks like they look for a fight, but they're not going to grab it.
Yeah, you can't call for a Stand United when you are the Stand United, so unfortunately you're just going to get run down there by a Dr. Mundo.
You know what? Here's what I love to see. I love to see that Andaloth is the captain of his team, and he's so humble. He is not allowing anyone else on his team to die. He's taking all the deaths to himself. I love that. And I'm not being a dick when I say that. That's exactly what I would do, except I would do it because I'm bad, not because I don't want my teammates to die.
That's an interesting take. I'm not sure if I agree with it, but you know what? You're entitled to your opinion, and I think that's great.
I'm so far down this Tien Kum rabbit hole now.
Yeah.
You're looking at the military leader?
He was a military leader in the Book of Mormon, but apparently, like, I did not know. Apparently, the Mormons think that, like, there were these 4 specific, like, Native American peoples, who were, like, the big nomads that came over, and, like, none of what they came up with has any basis in reality.
Well, we don't know that. I'm not the genius.
Hey,
oh no name. We got a dragon fight about to start here. We got a dragon fight about to start here. So hang on to everything that you are thinking, because we could see a big fight happen. Chris Gibbs is right there. He does have ultimate. They're actually choosing to make me look like an idiot and not fight.
Something terrific there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know
Ocean,
if you thought
Ocean,
after 13 minutes there would suddenly be a fight in this game.
Ocean. I know, right? It's only 2-3 at 14 minutes now. We do have an Ocean Soul, which is actually pretty refreshing. It's normally been the 2 brand new Dragon Souls.
Yeah. Which I hate. I hate them. I don't enjoy it. If anyone on the balance team is listening, please, like, just delete them from the game. Like, yeah, you might get fired, but you'll be a hero. Just open up the code. Take them out.
Looks like they are
Uh-oh.
going to find something down here in the bot lane. Game plan's looking in a lot of trouble right now. Captain backing up as well. Lit Omega's here. Okay, here comes an ultimate in the mid lane. Looks like they are going to break out, and they're trying to find Wildcard, doing a lot of damage, but a huge stun is actually even safe for a little bit longer. Really nice dodge there from Zed. He's going to get picked up. Wildcard able to trade one back. Oh my god, the Stand United, the taunt. He's going to get taken down. That is a double kill, and the Rocket is not going to come into the fight, but it was an amazing play. What a Stand United from Andalov, keeping his teammates safe. Really solid. Wildcard now might be in more trouble. Billabang is going to get stunned up. He's going to get knocked around. He might be taken down as well, and we could be looking at 3 kills for Victor in what looked like a Doom scenario. They turn it around.
Yeah, that's when you type outplayed in all chat and watch the enemy's heads explode. That was really, really nicely done. He was able to get the double gravity field down. Stand United comes in. Just really, really excellently done. He got a little bit greedy maybe at the end, going back for that kill on Fiddlesticks. I thought maybe the ability from Fiddlesticks was going to kill him. But nope, picks up 2 and then is able to collect another for his efforts. And look at that, he's sitting on 2 full items. Finished Zonia's, so which means Zed won't be able to even try that again.
Zed is trying something right now up in the top lane, though, looking for Alpha. I want to say Alpha Beta Cat, and I know it's Alpha Bet Cat. I don't know why my brain is like, it's saying Alpha Beta. It's because the B is capital, right? That's where my brain like sees the capital B. And it wants...
that's where the word alphabet comes from. Like, it kind of makes sense. It's got the ABC rhythm. Like, you think you're going the alpha beta, like, you know, going through the letters of the alphabet. And
the Alphabet Cat is going to try to find Omega. Oh my god, that's why I wanted to say it. The dude's name was Lit Omega. Why would I not want to say Alpha Beta when I see Omega?
Oh, yeah, that doesn't help.
Captain and Wildcard looking for something in the mid lane. This is really showing BYU's communication strengths, the way they're roaming together, clearing out stuff. I really think that come game 2, I don't care how the rest of this game goes. I don't care who ends up winning. I think if I'm on the side of Feeding Frenzy, I recognize the strength in having their captain have Shen. He might be 1-3, but the only reason that their team is winning in gold is because Shen exists. He had an amazing Stand United. He had a huge taunt, massive play in the mid lane to keep his Victor safe, and the Victor now has 3 kills. So I'm looking at the Shen as a problem.
Yeah, that's a way of putting it. I would call him a problem as well. This Victor's also very scary though. He's got the full setup. He's got the Crown of the Shadow Queen. He's got the Zanyas. It's gonna be tough to get on top of him and kill him, and he's gonna be dealing all that damage with the first strike.
Yeah, he is going to be very, very strong, and he also has just solid. He has slow CC setup, but there's so much extra CC that if he's able to chain it with anybody like Poppy, and you might actually see it in just a second here, as it looks like they might just break out into the fight. They're looking for him, but he might be able to hop with the roll, but he can't because Poppy denies him, and Alphabet Cat is going to pick up that kill.
Yeah, I think that's just a herald over to the side of beating. No, sorry, so over to the side of BYU.
BYU is blue right now.
Oh, yes, the Rocket!
Oh, from downtown, Gangplank gonna snipe him out of nowhere.
Why was his health low? What did we miss there?
Hey, look, Raptors can take a chunk out of you.
I guess so.
I actually did not see.
I was like, oh, he's very low. Oh, he's on a ward. Oh, Jinx should shoot the rocket. And then I looked over, I was like, oh no, Rocket's on cooldown. And then the rocket hit him. I was like, oh, that's why it's on cooldown.
Yeah. You can see Feeding Frenzy posturing for this dragon. We may
I
actually
expect
have
a fight
with the way
now.
this is set up.
Now we
Yeah.
can have a fight. Now we're getting towards
we
19
should
minutes.
expect a fight. If there's not a fight here, what the fuck?
Victor isn't here though. Just start the dragon. Let her rip.
They actually have really good positioning. Yes, Shen isn't here. The Stand United is up. But Victor's not here yet, and that's really the big thing. Without Victor here, this should just be their Drake.
No fight. No fight.
Yeah, no fight. I actually agree with that. They didn't have Victor there.
I do, but like, they were positioning for a play. They were doing all this setup, and they just walk away.
I think they realized they were outnumbered, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have the guy who has the most
Yeah.
gold in the game right now. Let's back it up."
Yeah.
That's gonna be big though. If they're able to snag even just one more, Mundo is gonna become more and more terrifying. If you get Ocean Soul on Mundo, you are very hard to kill.
Yeah, as if it needed to be any harder.
Well, it's always you're just 60% heal cut away. That's my biggest issue with Mundo as a pick. Is like you can't really stack more healing on top of him, because like it's not going to be effective. Because if the enemy team itemizes correctly, you're going to get really cut down anyways.
Yeah. But you do force them to spend that gold.
It is true. With that said, none of them have spent that gold. They don't have a single heal cut item into Fiddlesticks Mundo.
So it's working, is what you're saying. It might just work in the end.
They're in a very good spot.
Yeah, if I'm playing into a comp like this on Jinx, like I am super considering going for a Mortal Reminder second.
Yeah, I think a Mortal Reminder would be great on Jinx here. I think like Oblivion Orb on Victor also totally reasonable. Both Shen and Poppy love Rainbow Vest.
Okay, so we got.
And I love it. Let the record show.
You love it too.
I love Ramble Vest.
Baron spawn.
I don't love Rainbow Vest.
Baron's
It is a
up.
bit uncomfortable to put on, but
Mundo and Shen palling around down here in the bot lane. Kiana is nearby, though. They're looking for something. That's the first bit of CC going to be popping that passive. They're not going to find any type of fight. This is going to be such an explosive game. Oh, wait. Speaking of explosive, we might just have an ultimate going in. It looks like he is going to go all the way in. They're doing so much damage already. A huge stun from Alphabet Cat, though, is going to keep them safe. They actually dropped the Herald on the back end. Chris Gibbs actually turned his attention to that. He was trying to get rid of it. They're going to take down the tower. Here comes Shen going in with a really nice taunt. They're able to pick him up. The ultimate comes in. It's not quite enough. Another huge Jinx ult, though, from Gangplank. Yes, you heard that right. It was accurate. Really good taunt right there, but he will go down and then up in top lane. Looks like Wildcard might be in some trouble. They might be able to get Omega. He's dropping so low. Exhaust is picked up. Oh my god, they get that kill. Alvecet now on the backside is picking up more kills himself. Are they going to be able to finish off? And Captain is going to grab it. And just as we were talking about everything bottled up, it all comes out.
Yeah, massive fights all across the map. Tons of stuff happening. You could really, I think the bot lane fight was a really great attempt from Fiddlesticks and Mundo, and then once Mundo just decided to flash forward because he wanted to really get the kill, the side of BYU was just able to completely turn it. And they won most things around the map. Zed got top turret, but they got, what, 3-4 kill spot for 1 or 2?
They got 2 turrets bottom.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, I think, when you're looking at this just objectively. The big thing is that they got more turrets, so they got more team gold. I think in regards to kills, they came out a little bit ahead as well, but not like a crazy amount for
Sure.
what they were trading, because I think Zed did a really good job.
Top fight,
Yeah,
just
they lost
bad.
the top fight.
Sorry, I have to apologize. How dare we say that BYU have no heal cut? They had the Ignite on Poppy, and it was all they needed, because I don't think the Mundo ult heals more than 100 health.
Captaincy income leading them to victory. Actually, been really big in spearheading these plays. Seems like they're kind of waiting for Poppy to get there and to help them finish these things off. A really nice setup, though, that they had. They kind of dove that tower, and then they dropped the Herald and then backed up, and it was able to split the team, which proved to be very effective. Shen is split pushing up in the top lane, and Ultimate's actually coming in looking for a kill down here.
You got the blue buff. I thought that was gonna kill the Zed or something.
I thought it was. Maybe that was the purpose, but
I saw things moving on the screen like particles, and I was like, "Oh my god, is she getting gold?" And it was like just blue buff.
All right, so not the mortal reminder that the folks have been clamoring for.
We're into the huge item spike.
This is risky from Zed. Okay, that's a really nice pick, though. It forces the flash out of him. Here comes Chris Gibbs using that Predator. There's the fleeing. There's the silence, and they're smiting for the bigger slow. They should have the damage to finish this off right here, and they do. That's going to go to Def Not Feeding on Feeding Frenzy. Zaya.
Yeah, but look at the macro play that that BYU can make off of that. They get mid turret, they push mid and bot in.
And they're getting Dragon. And they're getting Dragon. But at the same time, it might be a Baron play.
Well, I think Feeding Frenzy is forcing the Baron here because they feel like they have to after how much they lost across the map.
Dragon, they know that.
Oh! On Jinx. Oh my god.
It actually froze up for 1 second.
Get it!
What's happening? Oh my god. Oh. There was no smite at the pin. Jinx, if Jinx autoed it, Blue would have gotten Baron.
There we see the classic ABC versus top.
Oh, Jesus, this is just like, that's the worst feeling in the world, to get shot down. Just gunned down while exhausted.
Great kiting there, though. Looks like Gibbs is going to get hit by that rocket, is going to get hit even more, an Alphabet Cat right there to clean it all the way up. Miggle22, thank you so much for being the newest investor in the LBLCS.
Something Denny's, something Vermont.
Go to the Denny's in Vermont and talk for the talk to the assistant manager. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, it's it's not Toby. I want to say it's Toby.
It's Toby Maguire. He's now an assistant manager at the Denny's. Get Spider-Man on the phone because he is necessary.
He is necessary.
If you're not tangoing right now, you're not part of the LBS. You got to tango it up.
It takes 2 to tango. It actually takes 3 Spider-Men to tangle.
This is a pretty solid lead now for the team that, in my opinion, has better scaling. And it's going to be very difficult for Feeding Frenzy to come back in this one. But they have set themselves up so beautifully with their name. Because if they lose, they're like, yeah, we're just playing to our name. And if they win, it's like, yeah, we're just playing to our name. They're the Feeding Frenzy. So they can play both sides.
What was it? I will say, the thing about Jinx comps that always get me is like, if the Jinx gets picked, it's suddenly like, it doesn't matter how much of a lead you have or how late the game is. Now, in this case, they have a Jinx and a Victor, so it's not just the Jinx. But like, when all of your damage is funneled in that one source, if that player makes one misstep, it's like, oh, okay. Death timers are 60 seconds. So there's like, we don't have recourse.
Right. Now,
then again, I mean, Gangplank hasn't made a mistake all game. One big enough to have him die, and he has his entire team has ways to get people off of him. So it's gonna have to be a pretty massive blunder. But it's happened before.
Little Omega just looking for something down here in the bot lane, going for wildcard, gonna drop the ult. Both ults are being used, but Little Omega taking up so much damage, and a really nice use of the stopwatch is going to keep Victor safe for longer. We're going to flash back up to the top lane. A lot of damage being put out onto Billabang, and they're looking for this tower right now. They're going to start to burn that down. This is big for BYU. They're able to push deeper and deeper, clear out this vision. Here comes the ultimate. They're going to go all the way in on the wild card. He's taking so much damage, but the Stand United might just be enough to keep him alive, and it does. They're able to trade that back. Fiddlesticks going down, and BYU getting a bigger and bigger lead.
Yeah, barrier plus Stand United is not something you're going to be able to fight your way through as with Fiddlesticks. Before that, Wildcard did actually flash after Little Mega, but Little Mega was able to shadow away, so they both traded flashes there.
Now I'm trying to figure out a way to fight your way through a barrier and Stand United as a Fiddlesticks.
It's hard.
You would have to have so much AP.
Yeah, that or a lot of attack speed. Maybe lethal tempo.
Yeah, I guess if you were just Critical Sticks, you probably could, but it would still be really hard. You'd have to have 6 items, and the other opponent would have to be level 12 with no armor.
I think what we're seeing right now, and I could be wrong. I don't know how long Feeding Frenzy have been playing together. There's a lot of things I don't know about this, but knowing that BYU, I'm assuming that these 5 guys have played together, and I think their communication is just a little bit cleaner. We've seen their macro plays really well. They have so much of the map warded. They see something happening up the top lane, and they make 3 or 4 plays on the bottom side of the map. We saw a top play happening about 5 minutes ago, they took Dragon, they took mid tower, and they took bot lane CS. All at the same time. They're so coordinated. I think that's what's giving them the edge here.
Yeah, we kind of have like a moment of downtime after all of these, like the sudden outburst of fighting that has like lasted for so long. It's currently 6K in favor of BYU. And as discussed, they have the better scaling comp. So it's gonna be tough for the side of Jesus Christ. It's always so hard to remember new team names. Feeding Frenzy. It's gonna be tough for the side of Feeding Frenzy to find their right opportunities, but they do have a comp filled with people for finding opportunities.
The smite away from the scuttle I was very amused by from Fiddlesticks.
These 80 carries are farming at just under 10 CS per minute, which is basically the LBLCS equivalent of seeing a shooting star. This never happens.
Yeah, it's actually,
that's a good way of
if
putting
it's not Executive League, I wouldn't expect it at all. Executive League,
yeah.
all right, you got your diamonds and your masters and your grandmasters up there. Sure, it can happen. Here, it's not as common, but both ADCs doing a really, really good job.
Right click, baby. That's all there is to
Here
it.
comes another possible fight down here in the bot lane. Wildcard, Little Mega just looking for it again.
United.
He wants to keep on fighting. The Stand United will get dropped down onto him, and it's going to be a big swing if they're able to do it. Really nice use of... Oh, my goodness. This is the communication coming to the finest. A nice flash forward, almost able to get the attack onto him. He is dashing around so slippery, though, on that recon.
How many times
And
do you have
Stand
to try
United
that?
is like getting back up so fast. Like, well, it's already like a quarter of the way done.
You've got to accept at a certain point that Zed is not going to be able to kill Victor. I know he had help from the recon, but he has the safeguard from the crown. He has Zonias.
Yeah.
He has a Stand United. He has barrier. He's going to have flash up by the
Zed's
time this
ult
happens again.
Zed's ult is on a quicker cooldown than the Stand United, though. Zed's ult is pretty much back right up now roam. Like, he could use it again, and he needs to. I think they need to pick somebody off and start to make plays around it. They're pinging that Baron. This could be happening in the background of this, and it looks like they have started it up. Question is, how much vision did they cross over?
Can Feeding Frenzy even make it in time?
Can they sniff it out? They might be. Yeah, they sniffed it out. They did place that ward down. They're making their way on over. Will there be any type of steal? The Q, I think, actually would have taken it. It got down to about 300, and here comes Zed looking for something. He is going to get ulted away, though, by Poppy. And
This whole time, Shen's been on their bottom inhib, though.
And he grabbed Baron in the middle of that because they got Baron.
Yeah. And so that's like, yeah, Feeding Frenzy tried to find the play to, like, catch them all out at Baron. They don't find it. They leave a Shen alone. He gets the bot inhib tower and gets out. So that's definitely not what Feeding Frenzy was looking for here. But a great macro play from BYU.
In all
Okay.
likelihood... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I have something to say about draft.
I was just going to say, in all likelihood, it's not going to matter, but I still think that one of the carries on BYU absolutely should have picked up some grievous wounds by now. I know they're so far ahead, it's really not going to matter, but I feel like it's just such an easy buy and so efficient against this team.
Yeah. It would definitely prove to be very useful. We do see the Shadow Flame going to do extra damage to those recon shields that do pop up, but... I agree with you. I think that only having it on that Shen right now, it seems to be enough because Shen is normally the one in the lane with that Mundo, and usually Stand United to wherever Fiddle goes. But if you had it on another damage source, someone that's hitting everybody, it would be more useful.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Stand United, it's back up.
Yeah, and it probably will be getting used because the ultimate is dropped right now. He is coming on, and Little Mega has to flash away. He's looking for something. Is he going to get taken down? He does in the end. Wildcard's able to pick that up, and they have the Baron, and they're now going to try to just march on in from every single way. This is a war of attrition, they're saying. They are going to tire these guys out in their base. Okay, a nice stun right there. Actually hits up on him, but it's not going to mean anything else. They're finding their way in.
The definition of insanity, Buckle.
Okay, here we go. He's going to try to go in. A really nice ult from Poppy. He's going to knock him right back. That means they're not going to get onto Gangplank, and they've already taken the bot inhib. Now they're trying to take the top inhib at the same time. Victor and Kiana moving over to the mid lane here where Feeding Frenzy was trying to find a pick on a Poppy but weren't able to. They're able to take top as well. This is a Dragon Soul in the end in what I'm seeing. If they're able to snag that Dragon Soul, they'll probably just march it right through the middle and end. They have the two outside inhibitors down. If I'm on both teams, I'm focusing on this game, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, okay, next game draft. What do we want to do? How do we want to work around this stuff? I think this Shen has got to be gone.
Yeah, agreed.
I think the Shen is scary, but I think it depends on how Feeding Frenzy wants to play in the first place, because we saw them, like, we've seen them play this draft in a very, like, pick-centric way with, like, Fiddlestick, Zed, Rakan, like, just get two people in a side lane, find someone out with the ability to engage from so far away. And, like, it's just been completely neutered by the Shen, because he can simply ult in and invalidate all of the work they've
Yeah,
done.
they could play Wombo and try to counter it that way, or they could try to play a very front-to-back style that's similar and just try to do more healing. But this is going to be a big fight right now down here in the Dragon Pit. The ultimate from Fiddlesticks is all the way in. Now this is breaking up, but a huge ult from Kiana's going to knock a few people. Little Omega all the way onto the backline onto... Oh, there's the Stand United onto Kiana, though. He is going to get stunned up against the wall, and down he goes. The ultimate from Jinx almost takes out two, but not quite enough to finish off these guys. They grab the Drake themselves. That's Soul Point. And now they have so much pressure, so much healing. I think they're just going to run it down mid and be able to finish this one out.
Yeah, and now the tables have turned, and it's the side of Feeding Frenzy that have no heal cut. It is just the 40% on Mundo, since he cannot immobilize anyone.
Yeah, they're going to walk through. They're going to finish this one on up. Gangplank absolutely popping off right here, doing as much damage as they can, as BYU are going to take the first game in this 2-game series, but they're not going to do it without getting a few extra fun kills for themselves. Billabang TV also going to go down. Andalov sacrificing his life just to pad Jinx's stats. Welcome to the LBLCS. There's another game after this one.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun game. Definitely.
Yeah, it was a slow one, but it was interesting. It was cool to see these two teams like have their debut game and see how they chose to play it. And I think
it's nuts.
in the fact that the game was a slow one, I think that kind of implies the BYU's control over it, since they had the slower, more scaling comp, and the pressure was on Feeding Frenzy to make the plays happen so that they could get the leads on the Zed and the Fiddlesticks and get these engages and picks working. But
wow, look at that damage chart.
overall, I think it was a really impressive game for both sides.
Yeah, I think that I like to see that both sides drafted for a specific way and tried to play around it, like you were talking about. They drafted this pick central kind of composition that was countered a little bit by the Protect, so they weren't able to grab those picks. That Stand United was super beneficial for the side of BYU.
Yeah.
Now, here is the thing. These guys are switching sides, too. So you can also first pick that Shen away if you guys like to, if Feeding Frenzy likes to play it. They have a little bit more control over the very beginning of draft. You get to see how you might want to start it out. What is your priority pick? Do they not like something they saw in this game? Is Andalov like, hey, his Mundo actually was really scary, and if he had maybe a little bit more support in that lane, he had a couple of ganks, but if Fiddle didn't get those kills and Mundo did, he might have just been able to run him over.
Well, Andalov kind of played it like a madman. There were multiple trades where it's like, oh yeah, this looks terrible for the Shen, and then he would just win it anyways.
He was pretty cracked.
This is post Shen just getting a nerf to, like an explicit nerf to his trading capabilities early game.
Yeah, no, he was pretty cracked in his play of it. I'm pretty excited to see these guys play again in just a few minutes. Hopefully, we'll get that invite. I'll try to communicate with these guys right now. We can give out. BYU did win, though. So if we have anybody who predictions, all no name.
Yeah, I can do predictions.
BYU is
I did not
the
bet
winner.
in this one because I did not know anything about either team.
Fair and wise. Need to grab some of you guys and pull you all down here.
Oh, it's full.
Come again. then jump down, and then I'll no name.
Okay.
Jump on
I
down.
think Twitch is trying to pull a Schmecklegate. Hold on. Yeah, it's every time I try and select.
Someone did it ahead of you. I
BYU
think Popoba must have done it in
Oh,
front of you.
okay,
Can you
okay,
jump
okay.
on down from
Yeah,
the?
every time I was selecting BYU B Esports, it was like, we can't do that. It's like, what do you mean? I can't just select the other team.
Okay, and I want to just point out, people are typing it in chat. Oh, no name. Can you drop down to the?
Oh yeah, that would be important, huh?
I do want to just say, Brigham Young University, for anybody that wasn't here in the opening stages, according to Business Insider, is the #1 school for the hottest and smartest people. And that is
Yeah.
straight facts, #1, scientifically proven. And I think that's my favorite statistic I've ever read. And I'm super pumped that we have genius hunks in our league.
Yeah, it's all hunks and hanks.
All hunks and hanks. I'm pretty pumped about it. What do you want to see from Feeding Frenzy that's different this game, not Jerome? How do you want to see them adapt here?
I want to see less feeding and more frenzy, if I'm being honest. I want to see the Shen either get picked or taken away. I want to see. I liked the Zaya Rakan. I just think that they sort of showed their hand a little too early by picking it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would. I wouldn't be against going for that same sort of brawl and ball and style. I think you just maybe need to hold your cards a little bit closer to your chest next time.
Maybe try to outdraft them in terms of like ban out what is actually going to to ruin that draft. Like the Shen, if you're going to play that same type of pick style again, you can't let Shen through. We talked about that. But even just early picking your engage stuff out of like your first round, I really like that they took Zaya Rakan, but the Poppy super countered it right away and they just dropped it in support. So you got to know your enemy. You got to know your audience that you're going up against. You got to know your enemy. And if they're going to play something like that or have it in their belt, now you got to be thinking about it. Okay, can we bait them into picking something for our advantage now that we're on blue side?
I don't know, can they?
I don't know. I was asking you guys, man.
I think that Feeding Frenzy has a serious chance. I think that if they can switch up their draft enough and respond to BYU's draft a little more effectively, then they will have a very serious chance at winning. Because I think one of the things about last game is it's just like, okay, they pick Jinx, we're gonna pick Zion Rakan in response, and then BYU picks Poppy to stop the Rakan.
They pick Poppy Shen.
And Feeding Frenzy's kind of like, we picked our engage that was supposed to kill the Jinx, and now it's gone, and like, where do we go from here? And they kind of played straight into that hand.
At the same time, Zed would have won almost every mid-game fight, every single one he picked, if Stand United was not an ability.
Yeah, no, I mean you're not incorrect, but like that's exactly the point of them playing into the draft. Because I think like the other thing is BYU just did a phenomenal job in the early to mid, when like that was not the point of their comp.
Yeah, that early teleport into the mid lane that Stand United onto Victor that let Victor get that early triple kill, that reset the tempo of the game, and that fully dictated how the rest of it really went. And they would try to engage, and it would just be a rinse and repeat, the same exact recipe happening. Zed makes a really solid play, would win if it was a 1-on-1, and all of a sudden, it's a 3-on-1 out of nowhere.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if Feeding Frenzy can be the team to dictate the draft, and push that kind of do to BYU what BYU did to them, it's a totally different story. And now they're on blue side, so they get to have first pick.
Yeah.
So this is their time to do that.
And you know what? There's Zaya last game was a super strong player, was CSing super well. Even though they had a little bit of a losing lane, once Jinx started really popping off, and they were in a really tricky position because they could never get close enough to anybody like Shen or anybody like Poppy without this very big danger threat happening. So if they get somebody like Jinx and they play around that player, we could see an exact opposite of draft styles coming in, or we could just see two front to backs.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea. That's kind of the beauty of this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it really slowly. I'm saying we don't have any idea. Very slowly over different ideas.
Yes. We've seen one game from these teams. We don't know how far their reach and flexibility goes. We don't know who is like. I have never even seen these players OP.GGs. Like, is Fiddlesticks even that jungler? Is that a pick he likes? Is that something he plays a lot?
Or is that something they practiced just before this league and they joined it?
They picked in response to what they saw because he had experience on it. Like, if these guys get champions they're super experienced on and could just like flex that on the enemy team,
Yeah.
It's all within the realm of possibility.
It does take two to tango, though, so I'm gonna do that right now. If you guys can hold down the fort.
So, not Jerome.
Yes.
What do you think? How's this? What's this game looking like to you? How are you feeling about these two teams?
I gotta be honest. I think BYU's coming home with another W.
Yeah.
I thought they played a very clean, a very sophisticated game one, and as much as draft is important, I just think that the way they executed so impressive that we're gonna need to see a huge change of tempo from Feeding Frenzy to overcome that.
Yeah, I think BYU did exactly what I was expecting from a university team, which is that they played as a team first. And there was a lot of communication there about what was going on, and it was very visible. And so, like, because that's their play style, I expect them to continue with these kinds of, like, protect comps or, like, either protect or engage. Something that's big team fight where as long as they're all talking, they can execute. But I think the pressure falls on BYU again to disrupt the pressure falls on Feeding Frenzy again to disrupt what BYU is doing. If BYU is going for these team fight-esque comps, and that is their specialty, that is their comfort.
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
They just first picked Jinx. Feeding Frenzy did, and
awesome.
BYU is responding with a Maokai right now. So kind of what I was almost talking about right before I left for a moment. If you switch up, basically be like, hey, we're going to hit you with a dose of your own medicine. You figured out how to do it, and then we can either learn from it or we can beat you the same way you just beat us. And they're going to pick Maokai Jhin. And I like Maokai because it is still a flex right now. You can put it in multiple spots. So, again, BYU being intelligent early on in draft, picking a flex. I mean, we saw how crazy their draft ended up being last time, but Jinx Thresh is really powerful.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty gross. That's the kind of thing I wouldn't want to face. I do think the Maokai response is honestly like really good though because it's gonna be super tough. It changes the response to the Jinx from like all of this lockdown to specifically point and click.
Yeah.
Which can make a huge difference, especially with the Thresh. Even though Thresh Lantern will still be there, and it will probably still make Jinx's escape and survival a lot easier. But I like the kind of, the Maokai and the Jhin, they offer this really solid chain CC that is easier to execute than a lot of others. And so I'm a big fan of that. And they're also, the Zac.
I want to talk about why I love and hate that. I love that and I hate that. I think they're a university team like you're talking about. They're going to be really good at these team fights, these all-in engagements. But Zac is so hard countered by Thresh. By a solid support like Thresh, you can just flag and he cannot get that engage. You really have to be smart and tactical about your timing and your positioning when you're on somebody like Zac. Now, he could be looking up just to follow up Maokai. Wait for the flag, try to flay Maokai off. Okay, now we go in, we create this huge chaotic moment. But I think picking it once Thresh has already shown is really dangerous. Also, J4 can do kind of what Zach does, but these guys now don't have a response to it.
Yeah. And so the bands that came out, they're just a set of mid lane bands again, it seems. Well, other than the Irelia, it's like LeBlanc, Victor, Xerath. BYU
Aurelia
is
can be mid.
opting for the Lux, which is still also a flex with the Maokai and whatever their last pick is. They could send that supporter mid, they can send the Maokai supporter top.
This shows me that they are very well versed in drafting. The way they're setting up, they're still giving somebody counter, and you just have to figure out who. Probably if you have scouted these guys, it's a little bit more clear indicating who's going where and why. We did see an early Poppy pick, and we did see that pick in response to what the bot lane was going to be. We saw this early Maokai pick. It's very possible that Maokai is just support, and that's a mid lane Lux.
Yeah, it is. The Orn pick coming from Feeding Frenzy, I do like that. I think there's kind of some recognition, like either you send the Maokai into me, or if you want to send some sort of like early poke, like Fiora style character to counter me in lane, we're okay with you, using that final spot in your draft for that. And also like, Orn in a Jinx Protect comp, pretty good. Extra stats on your Jinx, pretty good. And so I am curious to see how BYU responds. As we said, there are 3 roles they could pick for here. Okay, they are just going to go for the Fiora counter into Orn.
Yeah, and it did look previously too, like we were kind of talking about the strategies that each player had implemented, and we were talking about, okay, they played Poppy last time support. They like CC heavy people that get to dictate fights. It looked like they would be the Maokai, not like a Lux player. Obviously, people can do both, but with what we saw and how they showed up to fights, I would have thought it would be the Maokai in that support spot. So that does make sense that we see it. I also really like Feeding Frenzy's change. Not Jerome, you're a little critical of them. I want to hear what you think with that change, because they've drafted a lot more team fight heavy now.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a big fan of the Fiora pick. I don't really see anyone on the side of Feeding Frenzy who could match Fiora in a side lane. And a lot of their CC is Super Telegraph, Fresh Hook, Jarvan EQ, Horn Knockup, Syndra E. Those are all really, really easy to parry. So I think Fiora is an excellent pick. I mean, Zach is also a good pick. It's a little bit of a bummer in Fresh, but I think that like Zach Maokai gives you so many tools. Lux, I mean, it's fine. You needed a little bit of AP. So I do like this draft a lot better than the first one. I'm confused.
Yeah,
I'm talking about BYU, aren't I?
Yeah, you're talking. You're actually just agreeing with
BYU.
yourself from before.
Yeah.
I didn't want
am
to tell you.
agreeing
I
with
wanted you to
myself.
get there. I wanted you to figure it
I
out.
found my way.
I think my big issue with the Feeding Frenzy draft, or the thing that scares me, I should say, I don't really have an issue with it, but it worries me, is the J4 pick. Because the issue with the J4 pick is that when you look at Feeding Frenzy's team, and like how they scale throughout the game, you have 4 champions that, for the most part, just get better, and then you have J4 who will just slowly get worse. Like all of his CC, his ult, his EQ will always be impactful in team fights, and he will always have a purpose. But like J4 is a champion who loves to act early, and Feeding Frenzy has like all 4 of the champions that Jarvan can help are champions that won't really be able to act early, even if Jarvan gives really good setups.
All right, let me
Or in
counter your
most cases,
concern.
Jarvan
Let me
gives really
counter your
good setups.
concern with information we do have about these teams. Last game, Jarvan was actually Fiddlesticks last game. Fiddlesticks made huge plays early on in the game, did really fast clear, bought boots, had a Predator play up in the top lane, then repeated ganked, got a bigger lead up there. He did get both of those kills, so he was able to farm. He had way more gold than Kiana early. He got that first dragon. He was making plays. He liked to be proactive early and take advantage of what he knew. So Jarvan is a super strong early game jungler. And if he can find plays onto this Lux, because I think Zed actually was doing really, really well against Victor until Shen just kept coming. So if he can give his laners leads, and now they don't have that Stand United to back them up, I think it can swing the game more positively than it was.
Um, yeah, I'm just not convinced yet. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. The other thing about beating Frenzy's comp last game is that they were more akin, like they were the ones who had to put the pressure on, and now this time, most of these lanes are not going to be looking to put the pressure on. They're going to be looking to not die and farm as
Yeah.
much as possible.
Lux is going to have a lot of burst damage if they can get onto those back targets. Fiora is going to be causing absolute chaos. But if you're able to take out Lux or Jin to start, if you have that CC, if Jarvan gets on them or Thresh can hook, you have a lot of follow-up burst damage with Syndra Jinx. Even Jarvan, depending on the build. That was the other thing I wanted to mention too about Jarvan is there's different builds. I would expect that like bruisery build to be what he does do, but depending on how fed he gets early on, you can adapt.
Yeah. Now this is Maokai support. The main item on, or like the most bought item on Maokai support is Imperial Mandate, right?
I think. Okay, hear me out. I think that this player, even if Imperial Mandate is the best statistical item, I think based on what I've seen this guy do, he is going to play either full tank, like go Sunfire, or he's going to go Locket. He is there to protect his teammates. We saw him get over that wall and save Kiana's life in the most absurd scenario. We saw him constantly roaming in the jungle, waiting for a play to break out, and then going to help somebody. This guy, Captain T, is such a team player that I don't see him doing something where he's trying to do more damage.
I want to watch Maokai go Everfrost here. That's what I
love that
see.
too. That's so much CC.
I wanna watch him go Everfrost. I wanna watch him W to the Jinx, Q, and immediately channel Everfrost. For just like a straight 2.5 seconds that she cannot get out of to set up the Zaki and the Lux Q and the Jin W. All of that. Just make sure that she can't get out of it.
Spen Lau, we are using Pro Draft. If you don't know what we're using Pro Comps. They drafted in Pro Draft. We're using Pro Comps to look at all of this. If you want to check out Pro Comps, it's down below in our bio. You can just click on it, hyperlink right to their thing. We have a code to get 25% off if you want to use the advanced version. The free version is also really dope. It's super helpful. It gives you a lot of helpful tips about what you should pick. So definitely check it out if you're interested in this. It gives you awesome stuff like lane insights and team insights too. I just like this page. I think this page is so pretty. I think the protect engage comp, it just breaks it down so obvious to you. The game styles these guys want to play. I think that the Lux pick is going to be the biggest thing in this game because we saw how strong they were on Victor. If they can one-shot anybody this game, it's going to turn the tides before these team fights break out.
My understanding is that Lux has been pretty strong recently as a mid laner, which is pretty unusual, in my opinion. But like if you can get to the point where you can just one shot carries, you can just one shot carry. It's kind of messed up because it's like a 15-second cooldown all.
Yeah, late game it's very crazy.
Cool thing about Pro Draft, it's or not Pro Draft, jeez.
Pro Comps.
Pro Comps.
We use both.
That, yeah. No, it's well, I've been trying it out because like it's like I've been having a ton of fun with it, but it's just really funny because I keep tripping the app up. Because like I don't pick normal stuff, and so like I'll just be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna play Alawi mid here, and then I'll pick Alawi, and it'll mess up the whole app will be like, okay, so you have Alawi top, and then this guy's mid. It's just like it's so funny
until you're loading it. It's like, oh, okay, this is actually what's happening. I do like that in the LBLCS you have to line up in order, and so it figures it out instantly once you do that, and you line up in order like that. It's really nice to see. This game is the last game of this series, so I know that might be confusing for anybody who's watching who's brand new to this, but this is a best of 2 series, and by best of 2 I just mean it's a 2 block. That's it. That's all they're getting. This is the first week of the league, so they're either going to walk away with a win or a draw on the side of BYU, and Feeding Frenzy are just trying to punch up and find themselves any amount of points in week 1 here.
Yeah. Now I do like their comp. They have the team fight wombo. The Jarvan or an ult combo in and of itself is kind of tough to deal with. But the thing about Maokai is that his ult is so impactful. And it kind of flies under the radar, but it's like a 40-second cooldown ultimate that can root every single member of the enemy team for up to 3 seconds. And
Yeah.
lasts for like it lingers for like 12 or whatever.
It's a great zoning
And
ability.
It's just like a crazy disengage option. Like you can do so many things to force the enemy team into certain places.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's gonna be so potent this match for when Feeding Frenzy tries to find these wombos.
I actually loved what Captain T was doing right there. He was just scouting around with his sapperlings early on. Instead of stacking them for Alphabet Cat, he was just trying to check out areas, see if they were 5-stacking. Again, these are 2 brand new teams to the LBLCS, so they are playing it safe in these early games. We're not seeing any crazy engages, and you could have had that. With Thresh Lux, you could have had early game fights, early game things going on, but just standard starts here. Both junglers going to start on their blue buff.
Yeah, and I think pretty standard. I do like what you talked about with the Maokai going around searching. I think if he started a little earlier, he probably could have gotten both done, where he would both have saplings to set up and also for the jungler and also gotten the vision.
Sure.
But overall, like definitely correct play from him to get that vision on the enemy team and see what they're up to.
Billabang getting traded. I like that Andaloth is showing his depth of champ pool, playing the Shen, now on that Fiora, being able to play both the protective, helpful, and possibly just the full-on split pusher that's just looking to kill, get into that back line, and is not thinking about the safety of their teammates as much.
I wonder if this was sort of arranged in game 1, like, you know, guys, fine, I'll play Shen, but game 2,
Give me Fiora.
I get this guy.
Yeah.
I think that, the other thing about the Fiora, and the reason why it works here, is that Zach, I think, you know, Zach knows that they have the threshing spot. It's going to be really tough to make something work there as long as Thresh is on top of his lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gives him the opportunity to just look top towards this Fiora and try to create a gap. Because the thing about the Fiora Ord matchup is that it is a big counter for, like, Ornn, but it's not a counter that lasts the entire game. After a certain point, Fiora, like, does not feel as potent in that matchup.
Yeah.
And so getting, like, that goal, getting that lead could be really big in, like, giving, making it even larger.
Hang on to that thought right now because it looks like Zach is going to go in the mid lane. He is going to just miss because of really nice flash from Omega. It's going to keep Citra safe, and they are going to get to the stun on Deluxe, but there's going to be no continuation of that fight. Was a good use of the gank. It was a great flash to keep himself safe, but now there's a lot of prio for Lux in the mid lane. Uh-oh. Here comes J4. Uh-oh. Alphabet Cat, you might be in trouble. He is trying to trade this auto. Nice double hit, and can they get the Q? They're able to lock up one and a jump to safety. Very smart play from Alphabet Cat.
When did Andaloth go back? Did I miss that?
Andaloth did go back. He crashed away and went back. Yep.
Okay. He just had his teleport up, and he got back to lane quickly enough that I was baffled by it.
To your earlier point about Fiora into Ornn, it's going to get a little bit harder, especially when something like a Bramble Vest starts to come in. But I think that later in the game, really, basically, if you can keep Ornn in your lane, oh, nice flash.
Oh, that's a good flash. Yeah, to get away wild card. Good use of that.
That's a win. If you can keep Ornn at least in your lane, has to deal with you, has to clear waves, then that's fine, because the other 4 of your team can easily fight a 4v4 as long as Ornn isn't there.
Captain T has so much restraint. I can't, as a Maokai player, even if I was just Thresh hooked and had everything threatened, if I was pulled into W range of a Jinx and had my W up, every single bone in my body would be screaming at me
To go in. Yeah.
Feeling a double bone pain at the moment.
But I'm telling you, this guy's very calculated. He's very methodical in his play, and he's looking to help his team. He doesn't need to be the one that creates something, but he needs the one that stops the enemy team from creating something. Nice patience from Billabang there to trade that. Nice Nice knockup
And
as
I think
well.
he's doing a really good job with his trades. In
Yeah.
this matchup. Like this is a rough time for Orin to trade well into Fiora. Like as long as Fiora's vitals spawn and she can hit them, like that's just like a free like something max health percent true damage onto Orin. But he's trading. I mean, he's not trading effortlessly, but he's making it look that way.
Here comes. So Jarvan's going to get spotted out by this ward down in the bot lane. Shouldn't be able to get in. We should see Maokai go to just match. And yeah, they're going to even get more vision with the Sapperling there. Back up in the top lane. There's a pretty big CS gap happening, but you'd expect that with how rough this lane match is. But they're about to get to that level 6 area where Fiora's going to become the most dangerous for the next like 2 or 3 levels. She can just absolutely erase you with the ultimate. Okay.
No, I am a little bit surprised.
Oh, there's going to be a play right here. Here comes Zach. They're going to go in the flash. The hook misses, and they're going to be able to pick up first blood on a Jhin right there. Gangplank grabbing it for himself. He is Jhin, but he is also Gangplank.
Just heading top. Keep an eye on the river there. Here comes the ultimate.
Yeah, that's a nice flash away. Andalov staying safe for a little bit longer. Flash forward. This is a really nice play, but they do get stunned up. They get ulted down. Little Omega picking up the kill for themselves, so 1-1. But they pick up the bot lane kill. They have Dragon Prio, and they're going to grab it.
That was an incredible E from Syndra. That was blind, wasn't it? Fiora was in the bush, and she E'd Fiora. That was astounding. Like, that single-handedly saved Billabang's life and ensured that the Syndra ult would kill.
And now they're back in the mid lane, too. They're going to try to trade onto Wildcard. They push him back right on into J4, who is here. Gonna knock him in the air. There's no flash on Wildcard. They do have their ultimate. Are they going to be able to drop it? Can they get the damage? They can't finish him off. Here comes Alphabet Cat. They're going to jump in. It doesn't hit with the CC. Little Omega going to run away. It looks like that's all she wrote right here, but we see a lot of pings coming out because Thresh is roaming.
Yeah, lots to unpack there. Right at the end, Alphabet Cat short changes his E a little bit. A little bit of a misplay there. But, I mean, 1-for-1 across the map plus a dragon. Not a ton. You still have that huge CS lead.
Yeah.
But I do think it's good that the kill goes on the Syndra, not the Ornn. Like, as an Ornn, you don't need to, like, kill's not going to do anything for you.
As someone who plays Ornn, you don't need anything. You're going to hang out and go down in CS and sometimes win your trades. Just like that.
Boy, I'm loving watching Billabang in this matchup.
I love his name.
He's definitely played this exact matchup as the Ornn before. He knows he's being patient with his brittle autos into Fiora W's. Oh, I do that all the time.
Just misses
Jarvan.
right
I
there.
do that
J4
constantly.
with the reverse. He was, you know what? That's a power move. That's J4 saying, I don't even need to gank you.
That happens to me all the time. It's just, you go to EQ, but like your E range is slightly out of where you think it is because of the camera angle, and then it's just like it gets reversed and everything's through it, and you like either you die or you miss a play. It's always so sad.
So Jinx is way up in CS now. She doesn't have the kill that Jhin has, but her being up is really important. Now Jarvan is mid. There is no flash. There is no mana on Lux, and J4 cleans her up.
Yeah, I like the just like good understanding from Jarvan that there were no sums on the Lux so that he could make that play.
Speaking of people trying to make a play up in the top lane, a really well-timed E, but he's going to get pulled back as well. Andalov dropping the ultimate, trying to trade a huge flash ultimate from Zach is actually going to make that play possible. Alphabet Cat showing up with the intelligence right there. I love to see that.
It's getting a little bit
very well done.
With a couple autos. Oh no! Just right click! But he gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was like the CC from Alphabet Cat, because he was the only source of CC there. Like he just nailed keeping Ornn in the correct spot, even as Ornn did everything in his power to like not make that CC land. The flash ult, the pull onto the minion was brutal for him.
This is actually a really nice play. Oh, nice knock-up right there, and they're going all the way in down here. That's going to be a pickup on the Captain T. Chris Gibbs going to grab another kill for himself. J4 getting bigger and bigger, and has a pretty solid CS lead on Zach as well, but they're able to trade the Herald because J4 is down the bot lane.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting game, because last game we talked about, you know, BYU had the they had the Jinx, they had the scaling comp, they had the protect. They, like, we watched as nothing happened for the whole game. Now when it's reversed, and the pressure's on the
Oh.
side of BYU.
Philippine got that right.
I don't think so. I thought Zach.
Oh,
got it.
Zach did get it. Okay. I really thought Philippine got it with his Q. My screen is frozen at 10:30, just so you guys know. Now we're good.
Oh, do you want us to talk about what's happening here, Buggle? We're ahead.
Yeah, I think you're ahead. Here we go. They engage in the mid lane. Little Omega is going to get CC'd. A really nice flash over the wall is going to keep them safe, though. The ultimate's going to get dropped down onto them, and it's not enough damage to finish them off. Back down in the bot lane. Not much else is going on. Woo. When I hit 11, I'll let you know. It's in 5 seconds. I'm in 2, 1, 11. Good patience again on that brittle stack, just like you're talking about, Ono Name.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter, though, because it's just going to get picked
no, it's
up.
not gonna matter. Percent health max true damage is kind of rough. It's kind of a tough thing to protect against.
Good job, Harold, the mid lane.
Yeah, no, he's definitely managing that well, especially since like most empowered autos are auto cancels now, and so it just kind of goes without saying that you would just let the auto go through.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job with the fake outs, forcing Fiora to burn the parry. Because Fiora has to respect it, and like you do not have the reaction times to stop an auto that can just be canceled like 2 frames before.
Even
Right.
you don't. Speak for yourself.
Well, the other thing, too, is you could...
practice school. I don't know about you.
I think she's going to learn her lesson if she hasn't already. And she's way ahead in CS,
Yeah.
and she's got 2 kills. But in these team fights, she's going to hold it for more telegraphed CC, like a Thresh Hook, like a Syndra Stun, like a J4 coming on in. Those things are what Fiora is going to look for. Or just the giant ult itself, right? The ultimate of Ornn coming in. Things that are even more telegraphed. You don't have to use it on the brittle stacks in the middle of fights.
Yeah, I think that... Oh, the thing I was going to say earlier is, when BYU had the Protect comp, they, like, the game was very slow, no fights were breaking out, and now that the pressure's on them to make the plays into the other team's jinx, we're seeing a lot of fights. Like, this game's been very busy. Even if there haven't been as many kills, or, well, I think there have been more.
There's a
kills, but
flashway
there's
right
not a lot.
there. Thresh forced to burn. J4 now actually going to run into Alphabet Cat, who's just going to use the Blast Cone to get over the wall here. Okay, this Drake, both teams are posturing around it, but it looks like they're just going to give and shove mid lane here on the side of Feeding Frenzy. Although, J4 is lurking around it. Is he going to decide to go in right now? The opportunity is there. He's put the flag down. The ultimate has come in. It is not enough to secure it. They actually might be able to kill J4. He's diving. He's ducking. He's dipping. He's dodging. Zach is going to go in. They are going to find it onto Jin. And it is, we got a Chemtech Soul?
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll find out at some point. Yeah, it's Chemtech Soul. That's gonna be. Is this our first Chemtech Soul in a league game?
That I have
in
seen for an LBLCS game so far. It is, but I think there actually was another one. This is a huge play down in the bot lane. Alphabet Cat absolutely dictating this game right now. Just massive plays coming out of him. He just created 3 kills for Jin in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Wildcard doing a lot of damage right now into Little Omega, who does a really good use of sucking up those pots right there. Also has the Dark Seal, so they're going to heal even a little bit more. But makes it so they're not burstable by Lux. Here comes Andalov, 3 levels above J4, who already put the flag down. Is going to get a little bit more health, but is just looking for the out. They do find it eventually. Andalov has to flash over the wall. They actually messed it up. Really nice use of that, but if you get in the way, she can stun you. Oh, the flash over the wall from J4 keeps him safe for a little bit longer. Little Omega now looking for how does he help? How does he do what he needs to? He needs to get away from these guys because Wildcard can come up closer. The ultimate's going to get dropped down and Andalov. The rocket misses a perfect field goal. Now Alphabet Cat is very deep. He gets flayed deeper under tower, but there's no death sentence from Thresh. He already whiffed it. Back in the mid lane, Billabang is now here, going to hold down the fort. But up from the bot lane comes Maokai. Are they looking for a sideways ultimate engage? Stories, no.
See, that is one of those fights where you imagine having to explain League of Legends to your grandma. And you're like, Grandma, I'm sorry. There's like, no, I'm sorry. I can't explain this.
Too much stuff is happening.
Yeah, it's just sounds, flashing lights and colors everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough one.
Like, you think about something like soccer. It's like, explain soccer to me. Okay, you kick the ball into the net. Like, the rest is all.
They're flashing in, and they are lit up. Lit up.
Lit! It's lit!
It's lit.
Light got lit.
Lit got lit.
Light.
How lit is
Light.
it? Hella lit is the answer.
Speaking of lit, it takes two to tango. I'll be right back.
Yes,
Taking
sir.
off at a Herculean pace. Buggles running away. The 4th shot! Onto the turret! Bang!
Why are you casting this like it's life or death?
Well, you know, I
Just
take a
trying
lot
to
of
make it
pride in
exciting.
my casting work. I like things seriously.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I'm just a jokester.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? Guess we are all for reasons.
So BYU's picking up a Herald here. They've definitely established a hardy
Pick it up!
lead for
Pick it up!
themselves.
Pick it up!
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. That was that's always a thing where it's like, oh my god, whenever you see that happening, it's so stressful because you can't make them do it. This happened 3 minutes ago.
Oh well, that feels pretty bad if you're Jinx. Def not.
Yeah,
feeding.
that's the Lux thing we were talking about earlier. That's already more. It's a third of the way up cooldown. And like before we were done talking about it, and it just half health Jinx. And no, okay, I thought Lux was going to have gone Dark Seal, and so it was just gonna make her ult even stronger. But no, she just has Ludens. I don't know what she's gonna go for next. I think that what I would do if you're looking to just blow up the Jinx is just go straight into a Rabadon's. But it's tough. You could argue a lot of things. You go Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame would also be pretty crazy.
Shadow Flame, go for something like Void Staff if you're worried about Horn and J4.
Well, yeah, it's a like
Armor,
for
you're
blowing
right.
up the Jinx if that's what you want to do, like she just did there. Then it's probably Shadow Flame or Rabadon's. But
You can do the.
in terms of what Lux actually builds, I have no clue.
This
I haven't
Jhin is
played Lux build in,
huge.
like, 3
Yeah,
seasons.
honestly, is Horizon Focus something a Jinx would build? I have no idea.
You can definitely build Horizon Focus on Lux, and it would do a lot of damage, but ever since they reduced the AP to add 200 health to it, it's not the same like thirsty item it was.
Yeah. I tell you, they should have stopped updating League of Legends back in Season 6. Everything else is just superficial. After Echo was
Everything
released,
else is superficial.
after Echo was released, the game was finally perfect, and it's all been downhill from there.
Great. Glad we have a
I think it's
professional
interesting 'cause
opinion.
I know a lot of people who feel that way about Season 3.
Yeah, no, because
Season 3 is the one I often hear as like the season.
Bring back
But
the
then-
infinite flash glitch. You know?
You-
Bring back the
that-
real good stuff.
No, don't do that.
You don't get the
Okay,
don't get the
hang on.
map up.
I don't think they actually want to engage anything under here. Wildcard actually catching out Syndra right now. Is that enough to pop them? They never popped the E! They never popped the E in time!
Wow.
They might have had it with that in an auto.
Yeah, very close. You missed a very gross kill onto the Jinx, where she died from half health to a Luxar. That she was kept in by Zach Q.
Dang,
That's all you missed.
sounds fun.
We were discussing the mechanics of how Lux could most efficiently blow up Jinx in the future to continue doing that.
You know what else sounds fun, though? Being an ADC on the team of BYU, because they seem to really care about you and give you some kills here. 5-0-0. He is a big Jhin, and he was a big Jinx last game.
I don't know when that happened. I hit tab like a couple minutes ago, and I was like, oh, he's 5-0. I don't remember like there were no 2v2s bot lane that are memorable to me. Like they weren't like.
There was one play where Zach set up 3 kills for him. Remember that? He set up
Okay.
the Jarvan, and then they had immediate gank bot lane, and both kills ended up going over to Jhin. He got 3 kills there. He's actually just been playing really well. The spacing that he has as an ADC is just very impressive.
Yeah, it's very tough to be a Jhin into a Jarvan. I think he has the Gale Force. Yeah, he does, which makes that easier for him. But that still, the Gale Force means every 90 seconds he has a response to Jarvan EQ if his reaction time is good enough. And like the thing is, if that EQ lands, then it's really rough for him. Especially since Gale Force doesn't go through walls, so Jarvan R just kind of negates it.
A couple of things that make you a really challenging team to beat in the LBLCS is the ability for people on your team to be diverse. And I think what we're seeing right now out of BYU is super promising for them to have a really deep run into not only the regular season and being in the top 2, but into the playoffs. Because what we're seeing as they drop Harold top, their macro play is really good. It's very, very strong. They're able to take a lot of objectives and trade around. Once they know where someone is on the map, they're going to start calling a play somewhere else. They're very, very positive in how they want to play, and all of their players are playing different things this game. Jin is on a totally different type of ADC carry. Zach went from Kiana to Zach. Top lane went from Shen to Fiora. You have these very different play styles in these different lanes, and that can make you so potent in draft.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about their draft for game 1. With, like, the
Oh, looks like a big engage is going to happen right now. The ultimate does actually clip. Not enough damage, but it is a shutdown gold over for J4. They're able to pop Zach back in their own Wolves pit, so they should be able to clean that one up. Wildcard on the side is popping that support a little bit lower, but it's not going to be enough. And just as I was trying to praise them, I caster cursed them into oblivion, and a really nice play from Feeding Frenzy comes out.
Yeah, that was so clean. That's one of those plays where, like, you see someone on the enemy team, and you're like, oh, we can fight this. And then, like, within 2 seconds of saying that, the entire enemy team is on top of you. And, like,
they're going to try to stop
they
this.
position so well, and,
Yeah, this is a lot of damage coming out. The flash forward! The ultimate from both J4 and Syndra is enough, and now almost all their gold is off the table. Wildcard does have an ultimate they can drop! Oh,
oh my god, that was scary. That was very close.
Like 875. That was really well done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was so close. That Q ult was taking it if he didn't smite it.
Yeah, no, that was very, very well done. The gold lead, just like
gap closer.
The gold differential just shrunk by so much. What was it, like 7.5? Now it's 2.5.
It has certainly shrunk considerably.
And they're going to get those supers in the top.
Series of plays. It was the exact opportunity that Feeding Frenzy was looking for, and they did it on the comp that wasn't even good at looking for opportunities. They did it on the Jinx comp.
Yeah.
I may cash in my genius tokens. The Lux has built Horizon Focus, proving once and for all that I am just the smartest.
You are probably smart and hot enough to go to BYU.
Probably.
Well,
a little bit to Utah, guys. We'll be on the cast for a while.
Going to a different country. You're up north, aren't you?
Yeah.
Jerome might be hot and smart enough to get to BYU. I don't know about not Jerome.
I'll just marry someone in the U.S. Get that green card.
Yeah, you're gonna. Okay, you'll marry LeChance.
Yeah, I'll marry a hot, hunky BYU student.
There you go.
Problem solved.
A hunky Hank.
Solved.
A hunky Hank.
Andeloff actually doesn't know how many people are close to them, and it is a lot. They're actually going to do a good amount of damage to start. Here comes the ultimate. This is what you dodge with the repost. Get the stun onto him. The flash forward is not going to be enough because a really nice ultimate from Maokai keeps them in place over here. There is a big fight around this dragon. Why? It's sole point for the side of BYU.
I did like watching BYU layer like 10 seconds worth of CC onto 2 members, but like have no follow-up. Just because it was too far away from all
Dragon
of them.
started
That's how much
up.
CC they could apply.
Andeloff try and get around the backside right now. Syndra better teleport into this fight if they have it available. Looks like they do. They're going in. Here's the all-in. They're able to lock up Maokai in one part of it, but Andeloff on the backside is just running rampant. A nice flash over the wall from Lit Omega is going to keep them safe for a little bit longer. Def not feeding. Is trying his best to carry this fight. He picks up 1 kill with Lit Omega. Now he's going all the way in. He's absolutely blowing them up. This is pretty crazy how much damage he's able to do. Huge stun from them. They're able to pick up another one. These 2 carries might be able to just carry this fight. They have to get Alphabet Cat out of this pit before they try to do anything else. The all-in engage, and oh my god.
What?
Smiteless, and they get it. Smiteless, and Syndra out damages and finds another kill before backing. Okay, nice
I
stop
thought
from
that was
Baseline.
doomed.
I thought it
There
was
a
beyond
beautiful
doomed.
Lux ult layered with the Jin ult. Their front line got eviscerated. All that was left was the Syndra and the Jinx. Def not beating and Lit Omega just play the fight well enough that it didn't matter. They managed to find 4 kills, I think, as just the 2 of them. They get the dragon. I don't know exactly what happened there. Did Alphabet Cat, that's BYU's team, right?
Alphabet Cat is BYU.
Yeah. Oh, no, okay. I was looking at the wrong smite. Never mind. I understand why I was confused now. I was looking at Chris GBS's smite, and I was like, he definitely had smite. But I was
No,
not
he did
looking
have
at
smite.
Alphabet Cat Smite.
He did have smite.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yep, he had smite available. I think it must have just been a quick enough burst with the damage. It maybe came from a crit as well, from a Jinx rocket, and then the Q from Syndra that was able to pick it up and clean it up. We can always go back and relook at that, but really, really big because it holds them onto the game. If they lost that there, trying to kill these guys twice would be so hard.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I have a really tough time judging Chemtech ult. Because, like, in practice, in theory, it should be so scary. But in practice, every time someone becomes a zombie, like, they just tickle me and then they fall over.
I think that you need to use it. And I think this was talked about, actually, because this is the second time it's been Chemtech. Because someone was talking about this, and I think I heard it in one of the casts. You need to have your tanks die first. And they really, obviously, but they really need to go in and die first. Because it causes so much more mayhem when the CC people use all of their CC, come back up, and use it all again. And it just lets your damage dealers get stuff out. If Jinx or Jhin or Lux or Syndra died and they come back up, they still only have like 1,500 health. They're going to get blown up again immediately. Whereas, you know, Ornn and Zac can live for a lot longer and do a lot more for the fight if they're the ones that die first.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with Chemtech. So, like, since your damage is nerfed by 40% when you go into it, but, like, all of your abilities, like, every other thing is functioning at full.
Right.
Like, it just makes CC, like, champions who can CC while they're zombies so much more effective, because that's the big other thing a champion can do in fights.
Or any champion that can put down something that's big
team fight soul.
in AoE, right? Any giant slow, if they could drop something like that, even if Thresh couldn't get his ult off, can get back up and get his ult off, that's really big. It can cage somebody. So things like that can definitely impact the fight.
Yeah, Chemtech Soul's a really weird one. The fact that you get it, there's no cooldown. You get it every time you respawn.
Yep.
You have a massive damage reduction. Like, it just it feels very odd. And it's, like, interesting to think about how it's going to be utilized in play. As,
I do really quick want to interrupt you and talk about the gold spread on these teams. Yes, it's about a 2K gold difference for them, but so much of that gold is on to Jhin if they're able to do it. Okay, screw me talking, because Zac looks like he wants to go in. They're going to find it, and they're going to start this one off. He's going to pull two people back in, but those Jhin ults aren't connecting the way they need them to. Almost enough damage to finish off one of these guys. Billabang dropping super low. Oh, the ultimate from Lux is almost enough, but not quite. Now he's going to return the favor with the Ornn one. He's going to knock a few in the air, but Syndra just got here. Huge stun! Are you kidding me with that damage? If Syndra's there to start that, I think it goes Feeding Frenzy way. That was huge damage out of one spell.
It was a 4-man E. It was insane.
Yeah. Okay. Dragon's up in a minute.
Boy, that looks like a Baron, doesn't it?
I would think. What they're doing is they're sacrificing Prio for Drake, though.
Yeah.
But they get it.
When does it spawn?
It spawns in 40 seconds.
Okay, I think, but the thing is, BYU can just make it to that time, right?
Yep,
like, all
absolutely.
They can do is set up vision. I think BYU still has enough.
J4 is spawning
well,
right now.
Feature, but...
They're actually not even able to set up. They're going to have Syndra back. What can Syndra get right now? Syndra's only sitting on 700 gold. They have 9 stacks on their Medjais. If they can get more, they'll be a lot scarier in that burst. And that one little knock they had on these guys, that was only with the 9 stacks. So if they actually start chaining these up, if they have another positive fight here, Syndra could become a huge threat if you can't kill her.
This is rough. Feeding Frenzy does not have Prio on this dragon.
Hey, we saw them do it once.
You're not wrong, but it's tough for them to get in here. Like, they do have all their ultimates.
They're not even trying to. Oh! That ultimate was so close, but now he's over the wall right now, and they could just choose to gang up on him. Def not feeding, needs to switch to rockets. They are. They're chewing through these guys. A nice flash over the wall keeps J4 safe for a little bit longer. They're actually going to lock these guys up. Jhin is pounding on the door, and so is Ornn. He is going to knock nobody in the air because of really nice repost. Okay, huge ultimate from Lux is going to pick up 1 kill. Elver on the backline. Alphabet Cat is in some trouble, but he is causing more trouble than he is in.
No!
Are you kidding me? Jinx and Syndra holding on to this game with their lives. Looking for more.
This is risky.
This is very risky. Can you get further away? Oh, he's going to get CC'd and locked up. A nice flash over the wall. Keeps it safe for a little bit longer. He's trying to find something. Here comes Syndra in from the side. Don't get CC'd. A nice. Oh, he didn't actually get the full stun off. He is going to go down. There goes the engage from Zach. There goes the. Oh, wait. That misses. That misses. That misses. No, they can't kite it back, although their damage is very high.
These guys can't. Oh, wait. Baron's not up there. They have Baron. Either way, they stalled. They can't push.
Yeah.
The team is respawning. They're not going to be able to get any towers off of it, save a big blunder from Feeding Frenzy. So that's still, it's not good that they gave more gold back over, but it did not go as disastrously as possible.
I'll tell you this, though. Go ahead, Jerome.
Just going to say, when you hit that Q, you hit that E, and you think, okay, my Q must have been a part of the E, and
right.
the E would stun.
Yeah.
You just want to cry. You just want to.
The plight of Syndra. The lesson I'm learning right here from this game, BYU is very, very organized, and Feeding Frenzy can pop the fuck off, and they do not give up. And I really like both sides from this right here. This looks like it is going to be what Not Jerome called. It does look like a full win from BYU, but this game is not over. If Syndra and Jinx can have another pop-off fight before their teammates die, this could just turn on its head.
Yeah, and that was one of the things he talked about while you were gone during Champ Select, is the fact that, like, it seems like BYU is just they're very communication-centric, very team-oriented, and if you can disrupt that, you can really take it to them, but it's very tough to disrupt.
Yeah.
It's clearly their strong suit, and you have to really find the right spots in order to do that. But Death Not Feeding Jinx, hitting them from so far away with so much damage is really giving them a challenge.
Yeah, I think it's really showing how big Jinx is going to be in the financial league meta of the LBLCS.
Yeah. Well, I do have to agree. I think we did see her in pro play a number of times today, I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm just crazy. And I do think, like, it's a strong pick right now in general, but it's just, like, it's so good here. Like, you're not throwing away so much early prio, and you just have this crazy, like, rocket, kill everyone.
You scale so well.
range.
You scale so well. You're so impactful in these late game fights. Syndra is so close to finishing her Rabadon. She is less than 100 gold away. That being picked up gives her so much more AP. Those little crazy bursts she does are going to be that much crazier.
How much MR does the other team have? Not a lot.
Not too much.
Yeah, it's just like, I think it's only like 50 total across all of them, and it's only on Zach and Fiora.
Yeah, Zach and Fiora have picked some up, but nobody else is really stacking anything.
It's
just armor and health on the side of Maokai.
Yeah. So she will be outputting a lot of damage after she completes that Rabadons.
And she's probably going to push this bottom back, get the Rabadons, and have teleport for this Baron fight, which is going to happen very, very soon. Only 45 seconds away. A minute and 45 for the side of Elder Drake. These are the last two fights. Either of these could be the last fight. Uh-oh, looks like somebody might be getting caught out. The Lantern might just run out. Over here in the mid lane, oh, the slipperiest escape.
There were so many things that could have gone wrong there. The Zac could have landed the E in time, and the Lantern could have timed out. The Zac could have landed the E after the Jinx clicked the Lantern and got it interrupted.
Speaking of interruptions, let me interrupt you, because Syndra just finished Rabadons, and guess what else? They just got Eye of Luden from Ornn, so their Luden's pumped up. Their damage output is going to be so much more this fight. They are looking for Fiora, though, and they're sacrificing all possibility of getting this Baron. And maybe they know that. Maybe they're saying, we're not going to win if we get Baron right now. We're going to try to steal it with the Jinx ult. Doesn't happen. That's okay. We're playing entirely for this Elder. We're setting up for it. That's it. Yeah, they're
I think that's a scary call, though, because they didn't
get
to make any macro plays.
They could end through top right here.
They didn't fix any wave states. they weren't able to find the pick on the Fiora, so now they're just going to put 4 on this wave that's already on a bear in him in the
Syndra's
top
cracking
lane.
her knuckles. She's ready for the 1v4. Here we go. Come on, Omega. Uh-oh. You're getting engaged on. Oh, you're going to get CC'd. You're going to get brought back. You're going to get blown up and taken out.
Yep. I think this might be it. They have 8. They all have to back within 8 seconds. And
this will stall for a little bit longer. Okay, they have a teleport coming in as well right now. Can they keep Jinx safe enough? J4 actually has to, I think, not engage. He has to go back and help because Andaloth is on that back line while these guys are fighting up here. Andaloth actually does go down. They're going to be resurrected, though. They're a zombie sprinting at them. The captain of Feeding Frenzy running for the hills, going to get CC'd and locked up. Def Not Feeding is Def Not Feeding, the only one still up on their team, trying to hold on to this game, taking so much damage. He's going to get, oh my god, their spacing is so good, but it's not good enough. Gangplank on the Jin's able to get that kill and get that Nexus. That's a 2-game win streak here for the side of BYU.
Yeah, that was a banger series.
Big ups to BYU. Big ups to Feeding Frenzy for punching back way harder game 2, in my opinion.
I think Feeding Frenzy just played really well all around. I think I think the reason that game 2 looks so much more decisive than game 1 is just because it's really tough. They had like 3 champions that have like super difficult execution into Shen and Poppy.
Yeah.
And it was just like trying to make it work from that was so hard. But like even in that game, you could tell that their like mindset was in the right place. They were going for the right things. And game 2, they picked better and they played to what they were trying to do. And they had a lot of really good looking plays. They knew. I mean, Little Omega and Def Not Feeding, they're good carries. Like they proved today that they are good carries. And like if you can have a more stable early game, if you can set them up better, to have that scaling come through, you can definitely like Feeding Frenzy could take this league if they really.
Yeah, what I learned about these two teams is that they both can adapt. And they both can adapt really well, and all of them can play different kind of play styles, whether it's different kind of carries or different kinds of engage. That's really important in Financial League. You need to have that diversity in Financial League to be able to get deep and far into it. If you have only 1 or 2 styles of play, the other teams are going to figure it out. They're going to beat you formulaically. Like you have to be able to adapt on the fly, and I liked that both teams showed their ability to adapt in Game 2. Game 2 was a 36-minute game, and it was tight. There were some crazy fights where Syndra and Jinx were able to carry, even though they're down in gold. They're down in stats given from Drake's. BYU, just I think what it comes down to is just the communication in the end. They're able to pull it out. They have really smart engagers. They have really smart leaders there too. Not that Feeding Frenzy does it. It just came down to who could execute as 5 better. And, you know, in competitive league, that's what it is. It's all about that communication. So big ups to them. Are anybody lurking down there in the community channel for a interview? If they're not, that's okay. I'll give them a few minutes if they want to jump in, from whether it's from BYU or from Feeding Frenzy. Doesn't matter to me. Come on in. I got questions for both sides. Very honestly, this is their both of their first games here at the LBLCS, so that's going to be my first question.
Certain 67's right. Feeding Frenzy didn't lock in their mascot Ziggs. They never stood a chance.
Yeah, you're right. He cracked the code. Why is this guy not a caster? He clearly knows what's up. Oh, I can't wait. Alphabet Cat, welcome.
Hello.
What's up, my dude? How was your first years at the LBLCS?
So far so good. I mean, 2 games in, you know, that's all I've got. So far so.
So far so good. You actually played 2 totally different champions. You can say that both of them have like an engage tool and have decent mobility, but in terms of what you want to do in team fights, 2 kind of different things. Do you guys have, like, you don't have to give anything away, but do you guys have like a lot of ideas for how you want to play? How long have you guys been playing together?
I mean, we've only been playing together for maybe like a few months now.
Okay.
So we're still kind of figuring stuff out, but I think that we've all really decided that we want to come together as a team. We want to work on this together. And so we've been putting a lot of games in together. So even though it's been a few months, we've been playing with each other a ton. And I think that's really helped out us a lot to learn each other's play styles and what it is that we want to accomplish as a team.
For sure. You guys were also playing against another team who has not ever played in the LBLCS before, so that was probably very exciting for them as well. Coming into game 2, you kind of figured out that they probably wanted to change up their game style, but were you expecting this kind of draft out of them after game 1?
Yeah, we expected them to pick Jinx up from us since they had first pick. So we kind of expected that was the draft that they were going to run. We already were talking about before we got into draft. All right, if they're going to pick Jinx, what are we going to do to punish it?
Mm-hmm.
And so our support captain Tienko was like, well, I'll just play Maokai. That's a huge dive engage, and we should be fine with that. So that was kind of the mindset we were going into the second game.
That's awesome. I really like to hear that you guys were pretty much preparing for it already. There's gonna be brand new opponents coming up soon. Are you guys already talking about your next series in your comms, or are you just celebrating this victory?
Right now we're just celebrating. You know, we're taking it as a little bit at a time. You know, this is our first time in this tournament. We want to do our best, but it's exciting. So we just got done with the first game, or the first series, and it's hard to already be talking about the next series.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll be talking about it soon enough.
Well, go pop the champagne with your team. Have fun. I'm a huge fan. By the way, when you listen to this back, if you do, I do call you Alpha Beta Cat at some point, but it's only because they also have they have an Omega on their team, and you have your Alpha. And I was just reading in Greek. Okay, I was doing my best. Yeah. Okay, I know you're Alphabet Cat.
It happens a lot. Don't even worry about it.
I was gonna say. I had a question for you.
Yeah.
I just want to know the thought process behind the Kiana game one. Because Kiana, as a fellow jungler, Kiana's such a wonky jungler to me. Like her power spikes are bizarre. And the right time to make plays always feels weird. And I wanted to know why you thought Kiana was the right pick there.
So I've been playing a lot of Kiana recently. I really love the champ, and I really wanted to get good as her. What I found for myself is going straight assassin, as most people do, just doesn't work for me. And it works a lot better for me to play her as a bruiser and play around for team fights with the ult. So it makes it really easy to take objectives with her ult, which is kind of what we try to play for.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that objective control and the huge damage from the ult, and she's slippery, it all just kind of comes together well for the team.
Sure. I like that take on it. Just, it's kind of like, it's similar but different from the whole Viego, Sunderer, Serac strategy, where you don't play to what the character was designed for, but you use the tools they have to force a certain style of play on your opponents.
Yeah, it's actually really effective, or at least I've found it to be effective for myself.
We found it too. We watched you be effective.
Yeah.
You guys have very good team fight, and it's absolute pleasure to watch you guys play. I can't wait to watch you guys play even more. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you guys. It was great.
Also down there, we also have Lit Omega, who is the reason I have been tripping up on that name. I'm going to pull Omega in right now. A heartbreaking loss, but a really fun series to watch. You guys really adapted in Game 2. How did you feel in Game 2 compared to Game 1?
I think we put up a much better fight. It was in the middle. It looked like we were gonna come back a bit, especially at that fourth dragon fight. And our comms were pretty happy after that. But
yeah,
obviously.
You were kind of lit. You kind of stayed true to your name. You and Def Not Feeding were Def Not Feeding, and you were also lit. So you guys stayed true to your names. That fight right there that you got. How did you get that dragon? By the way, I'm still lost. Did you queue it?
I eat it without a ball. I just eat it. Yeah.
That was insane.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, that was an insane steal. I was in watch the team fight mode, and I was like, wait, how did he? I just saw Luden's proc and the dragon disappear. I was like, I don't even know what spell he used. That's pretty crazy. No, you guys fought back hard. Did you guys, in the middle of Game 1, was there a conversation about how you wanted to do next game, or was that all after Game 1? Where how are we going to change draft? Who are we going to ban?
Our mindset was just play the game while we're in the game. Like,
Mhm.
it's not actual LCS. It's never gonna be in a situation where it's not
Right.
coming
It's not. It's
backable.
not as low
So,
as LCS. Like you're in the LBLCS, way above.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I
yeah,
meant.
yeah.
Yeah. So we were always thinking about the comeback and trying to
Love that.
make something happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. You guys, this is your first series in the LBLCS. So
Yes.
how did you feel about the ability to scout and looking at these guys before you even get into the lobby with them?
Well, I actually play for a high school team, so it was somewhat similar. But
Okay.
I know for some of our guys, it was their first kind of like competitive experience. So we definitely just went into some scrims and then tried to plan out our draft maybe a few days ago. So we were pretty prepared.
Yeah,
We
there was good
just
prep
didn't
going in.
really. Yeah, we just when we got onto the Rift, it's a little bit different than just on paper.
No, absolutely. I really loved your game 2 draft. I thought it was a very, very powerful draft. I actually think it was the better draft, in my opinion. I was giving the edge to you guys. You come off the defeat. You're going into next week. You're going into next week with positive attitudes.
Of course, that was our first games. We're still working together as a team, and there was no flame or anything like that. We were still pretty positive at the end. We were like, that was pretty close. We brought it back, so we're not happy, but we're not like utterly crushed.
Yeah. You're not disheartened entirely. You're just like, okay,
Yep.
we got beat. Let's fix it next week. Let's get it better. Get those points back. Get back up on the table.
Of course, we have some work to do.
Yeah, you guys put up a hell of a show. If you go back, I don't think I mess up your name. I did mess up other people's names, but my favorite name on your team, I just want them to know if they're listening, is Billabang. I don't think it could not be. I think that's a fucking great name. You can tell.
Yeah,
him
for
I
sure.
said that.
He's listening for sure right
Yeah,
now.
hey Billabang,
So, yeah.
that's dope. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good name. I was gonna say, yeah, no, it was a blast watching you guys. Like you absolutely, there is so much shit there that looked so nice. And like it's totally, like we could see how like 1 or 2 changes and you pull it all together and you guys go wild.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, have the frenzy in you. Get the frenzy out. I want to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so my team
Holy
actually
shit.
wanted me to explain the Ziggs, like
yes,
the
yes,
logo.
please.
Yes.
So we have no reason for the Ziggs, but I made up a reason on the spot, and that's that it looks exactly like our captain, FSG. He's an exact copy of Ziggs IRL. That is exactly
That's
what he looks like.
phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Yeah, I feel bad because for Brigham U, I didn't know that they were like a university team. I thought they were just like I thought BYU stood for something funny, like with every other team in the LBSCS. So I made it look like the entire upcoming events post was just like, what does BYU stand for? Who could
Yeah.
possibly know? We all knew. It was right there. It was,
It was right there.
obvious.
Just had to Google it.
Yeah, actually, when our team saw the notification, we knew the answers to everything except for the questions about our team. We knew that it was Brigham U, and we knew that it was their their second team, right? They have two
Yeah.
teams in the league, so yeah. But we did not know why we have a
No
Ziggs
clue.
logo.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I
This
guess.
is what I get for being a commercial player.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty fun games. GG's to BYU. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully, just like Ziggs, your next series is also explosive. Thanks so much for coming on and doing the interview, dude. Appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. Have a great day.
You too.
You too.
Well, guys, me and Olin just talked a bunch, so I'm gonna let Not Jerome sign us off with an amazing, heartfelt speech in honor of me. Go ahead.
Remember, it is not what you accomplish. No. Thanks for watching. As a dog barks. in the
Is there
background.
a dog? When did
What?
you get a dog?
I don't. That's not my dog.
You gotta stop
Okay,
taking
well,
people's
fine.
dog. Wait.
Your second dog is
Oh, I'm not
bad.
signing
It's
off.
not your dog.
Why do you have another dog? Oh, you have someone else's dog?
Yeah, I kidnapped it.
All
Thanks so
right.
much for watching.